無理なようだな。ミラー配信できないんだね。ちょっと待って。少々お待ちください。まあ、ツイッチではできないな。
You mentioned it, right? I had a few questions to ask about their surge. I actually spoke to them in person in the player area, and they said, we have all the answers, Minimana. Don't worry, don't be concerned. And I was like, mate, carry on. You do it, mate, if that's what they're going to do. And they're pulling out all the stops today.
I mean, they proved it, right? The way they played that late game, they were ready to dominate. But, I mean, Seti Kami up top, I think that was more of like a situational thing, right? Yeah. We had Queasy Vino earlier up top on the high ground, but then Seti and Kami saw the opportunity and they striked, right? Yeah. I don't think it's going to be an every game type scenario for this duo. We know they like the consistency, so I wouldn't, be surprised if they switch it up a bit, but I'm excited to see what they continue to do.
I'm very excited as well. I'm sure as are the devs. Let's throw it back to them to see what they think.
You know, you got a good laugh out of our boy Vivid here. I'm down. I'm not opposed. Yeah, you chuckled. That was pretty good. Another duo I did want to take a moment to highlight on screen right now, Zagu and Miram, coming out of Japan. These guys were just looking so good. 7 eliminations there in that game with a 41 total. Now this is just out of game 1. And I mean, consider we kind of talked about it. They're contesting Commandment and Avery over in Rave Cave. And they were allowed to leave Rave Cave.
Yeah, 100%. You know, I think something that I did not expect. And my eyebrows, they went up, right? I raised them. That stat sheet right there. They did 2,200 plus damage this game. That is incredible. And you can see it right here. A lot of it coming from this end game, actually picking up a plethora of eliminations. Their box fighting skills seem to be catching a lot of these players off guard in the game. Woo, look at that.
Absolutely crispy and cooking inside of these boxes. It's looking like a full-on barbecue right now with Zagu and Mareem, the way that they were just lighting it up inside of that low ground congestion. Not only that, but I just love seeing how poised they are after that finish. They have not lost sight by any means. They know exactly what's on the line here as far as regional representation is concerned, and you absolutely love to just see that energy kind of be reflected in their gameplay.
Yeah, and I love the fact that you mentioned energy. I've been seeing them walk around the player lounge, everything like that. You know, the walkouts, they always seem so happy, right? They're so happy to be here, and they seem confident as well. There's never really like a, oh, we're worried to be here. No, they're just fully embracing it, and we can see it right there in game number 1. They came on top pretty much.
when you have performances like that, I can imagine why they're so confident. Because again, I think a lot of duos may not have necessarily been anticipating some of this aggression that we are witnessing right now in Game 1 from the other international regions. But at the very least, I do expect a little bit of a bite back from NA East, West, and EU.
I think for me, I'm looking forward to seeing how many more duels
NA
try to go for high, right?
EU.
For instance, Zagum Rim, they were just in that mid ground. They didn't even care about high ground. They're like, no, you guys battle it out. If we want more eliminations, we'll stay right here. Do you guys think that maybe more duels will just say like, look, our kind of strategy to win is that high ground. We got to go for it.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. We saw a lot of teams that actually like to play the high ground. Unfortunately, not making it into that game. They went down a little bit early. Like, for example, Aquan Reason, Jason and Chabix also went down. Another one, Alex and Bailey, we talked about them from OCE. They love to play the high ground, and they just, all three of them went down a little bit early, so it could change big time. You know, we also saw Kanata went down a little bit early. Macwood loves to play the high ground coming out of NA East. Pretty much the only thing that he shies for, but being left as a solo, he couldn't really do that this game.
But just look at some of these names that are located on the second page already for the leaderboard. You got Thomas HD, a Trippert, Pink, and a Nas. Again, I think Vico and Marine have been really exciting to kind of follow along with, especially since they're relatively newly formed here for the FNCS Invitational. I don't think that is an easy feat by any means to have to quickly adapt to your partner.
100%. And listen, I can't believe it, actually, because Clix and Duke were actually popping off towards that end game, right? And you know, the crowd was going crazy. We on the desk were like, wow, they're really showing up right now. And you know, on that leaderboard, it's really showing as well. Finding those eliminations on big name teams as well. They're coming into the Invitational with the experience. And it's showing.
How many of these duels are thinking themselves?
やりたいことができなかった。
I'm ready. I have that strategy locked in. I think I know what I need to do to get going because I want to make the crowd here in the Raleigh Convention Center just lose their mind when we're taking shots. Because, man, there was some eliminations happening, and I was just on my feet screaming with the crowd.
You know, straight up, ultimately, it's going to be based on an individual level, I think. You know, how good are you and how good is your mental at taking something that could be negative and turning it into something positive? Because, you know, not everything went right for any duo of that game, so they have to think about those things and like, okay, what can we do? What have we scrimmed before that has kind of helped us throughout these situations? Just make those changes come into game number 2. But there's also duos, plenty of them, especially the top 10 on the leaderboard, who, you know, found things that worked for them. So keep doing those things, but again, not everything went perfect, so keep that in mind.
But nerves aside, as the games go on, it's going to start feeling more and more natural, I think, for a lot of these players. You're going 100%. To start being able to focus in a lot more on the actual gameplay itself, and I think that's where the audience just becomes a little bit of background noise until it comes down to those final moments. But something that I'm really curious to see is whether or not these players are actually going to showcase some of their flexibility or adaptability, because Merstash Malabuka, I think they're a great example of a duo where they can go a game or 2 or 3 without really being able to catch anything, and then they just turn up.
That's right. We've heard from us. We've heard from Mini, Minor, and Tokata. Let's throw it on over to the casters to hear their thoughts.
Thank you
so much for that quick, of course, toss there so we can start getting into our perspective here. I mean, Jacob, let's talk about what we know just coming out of game 1.
Yeah, I mean, what we know, NA West, Yumi showing up big, not only getting that 3rd place finish, you saw that 2v1 off the back of Cool. Another thing, Acorn, NA in general is just kind of showing up. Obviously, EU won the game, but I think we need to start giving NA more credit.
Yeah, definitely have to give them that credit. They show up and then wait for them to win those early engagements.
Yep.
I mean, listen, we got to sit in the player lounge, quite literally stand over the shoulders of Anwon and Baka while they were practicing. They took on the likes. You know who they're training against? Reed and Epic Whale. That's their training partners. And I don't know about you, but if you were following Twitter, I posted a little clip of Reed taking on Merstash and Malabuka. So it kind of all ties together if Merstash and Malabuka are known as some of the greats, and then Anwon and Baka could hold their toe-to-toe with someone like Reed. I mean, it all just starts to make sense.
You know what I'm loving out of all that, though? You talked about the 2 partners, right? Anwon and Baka, and who they're sparring against, Reed and Epic Whale. That's NA West. That's NA West showing each other some love. I talked about a lot of these guys being friends, but when they're on the battlefield, they're enemies. That is just inter-region training, and that's something I love to see.
That's right, and of course, the upsets, right? We saw a couple edge battles there. Bugha and Miro taken out so early. This is one of the things we didn't really get to talk about. You would think that a team like Bugha and Miro, who have drilled and trained their draw spot so perfectly, they almost have it conditioned. This should be another walk in the park situation for them. What do you think went wrong as they were rotating out? Because it seems like they face planted into backline Kanata. That was the big resistance, and they were just taken out.
You know, without seeing too much of their POV, I can only go off a few guesses here, and just judging by 95 players being alive when Storm Surge hit, I think there were one of the few teams that were having problems dealing with that. And that's one of the things that I said in an interview before this event, that Storm Surge is going to be hard for these players to deal with, because the players that are above Storm Surge, they can hide in a box, they can focus on those rotations, but the ones that are below, they have to fight outside of Storm. They have to fight the first person they see in that first moment, because you can't continually falling down on that damage.
That's right. Well, listen, that's our perspectives here. We have so much more in store.
Thank you guys so much for those insights. We actually have a really cool moment here. The casters kind of talked about Bugha and Miro going down earlier. We had a listen-in moment. Let's take a look.
We need to find extra heals. You should pop cabbage maybe for whites. I need to heal. Unless you throw me a mini now.
Yeah, come.
Section.
I'll throw like right there.
Surge, yeah. I want that big ammo crate, but I know they're just gonna get above us.
I mean, I think you can go for it. There's a chest there as well. It's definitely worth it. With
2試合目 ?2 試合目
It's just glid off the thing.
It is, yeah.
If we get surge here, we can get enough.
I mean, make sure this isn't baited, bro. It's not. Here, we can get stacked, bro. I'm chilling. If we get surge, we sit in zone, bro. We should look.
これ2試合目なのか
Yeah, like where though? We'd have to follow right side.
Yeah,
like,
we have to go right side. No, we should bump.
You can already tell. Even Bugha and Miro are like, hey, we need Storm Surge. We need to make sure this is right. It is absolutely affecting many of these players. We will come back and talk about more of this in just a moment. First, I do want to throw it on over to the player area for a little special interview.
We have a very special interview, Zeke. I'm here with one of our alternate players, Frey. Now, Frey, you've been watching in the crowd, right? What's the energy like? How does it feel?
The crowd is amazing. I'm so happy that we have fans back. The crowd couldn't be crazier. It's so awesome to be here.
Yeah, we can hear them just there in the background as well. They're getting kind of crazy, right? So, of course, you're a professional player yourself. How would you prepare for an event like this? How do you think the players and what's been sort of going through their minds?
So I think bot viewing is extremely important. You need to know who's landing around you, what they do, what their tendencies are. And yeah, just bot view, fix your mistakes coming up to the event, and then just play your game.
Of course, you can give a big insight into the game as well. For a lot of these players, you can sort of, give your insight, maybe to talk to them as well. But we'll stop it right there. We'll throw it back to the desk for some more.
Thank you guys so much. Raleigh Convention Center, you guys ready? Because game number 2 is about to make its way here, so let's make some noise. It's game time. This is the FNCS Invitational 2022 coming at you guys. Are you ready?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Excited. I think that more than anything else, this game number 2 could really be a little bit of a breakaway moment here for some of these duos. Cammy and Shetty in particular, they are definitely looking for another highlight reel instance. And whether it comes from Victory Royale or just from being able to rack up those elims, I think that the Polish powerhouse is certainly still making it known that they are some of the best.
Champions are on the stage, right? Game number 2 is, this is where you got to start picking it up. You got to start developing your strategies around the meta of the lobby. And, who better to do it than the 100 of the best players from around all of the world.
Look at them zeroing in right now, Vivid. They are so amped. They are focused. The tension.
これさ、なんかないのかな。
スナッキー買ってくれ。Instance between the two of them, and were it any other duo, I think there might be some room for concern, but Bugha and Miro, I think, are an exclusive case, because Miro specifically, this guy is a 5-time FNCS champion. And yet, out of all the FNCS finals that he has competed in, he has only ever collected 3 victory royales. Wow. So it is a primary example of the fact that high ground can win games, but low ground could possibly win championships. And that moment in game number 1, while it wasn't able to go in their favor because they were struggling with surge management along with some of the other duos, again, they're able to make it happen.
All right, we've broken it all down. We had game 1 wrapped up, it's gone. Game 2 is here, it's now, the battle bus is ready, the players are on board. Let's just get this started.
Hey, game 2! Game 2, game
We
2.
get to start gearing up for this battle bus to take off now.
Yeah, this is finally setting in for a lot of these players on the stage.
今から関和の公式導出するわ。
Starting right now, and hopefully all those nerves from the end of game
やめ。
1 have settled, because now when push comes to shove, some of these players that might be at the bottom of the leaderboard, Mr. Savage, iDrop, that went down early, they might have to start dealing with that storm surge early.
アジアチームはどこまで
What happened in game 1? The
今回は
real
何
question
か
is
な
how are you going to adjust coming into game 2? This battle bus is telling me that the Chrome Jam Junction is under fire very quickly. It's so close to the drop spawn. You can see already things kick off.
スナッキー応援しろよ。
You know what? Let's put that weight in my experience on my back. Savage takes down
Whoa!
and all of a sudden it's a different tale to be told.
Happy birthday, Mr. Savage. First elimination here in
Birthday
game
男が勝った
number 2, and that puts On1 on notice. You gotta have to watch out, because we're here to fight. That first one might have been a little lucky, but another one, this one, I feel like has to have a little bit more damage, because all 3 of these players, Monster, they were dealing with Storm Surge, and they were just on the cusp. Some were even below.
This is not the only contested draw spot. Don't forget, Tilted Towers has so much going down there as well. So between Cloudy Condos and Tilted Towers, these are the 2 most
スナッ
contested
キーってスペル何
draw spots. And
ま
what
だあ
I
れ
saw
スペルが
there
全
is
くわからんから
Acorn and Edgy in the feed find Noah Ryler early. So
誰かがわからん
キャラがそこにいるとあえど見れんて。
Just giving us a little sample of how these drops are
アイテムでしょ
You can kind of see everybody on
上
the
か
drop spot.
スナキー。
Necessarily have the POI. It's about looting up, getting as much resources as possible, trying to get as many metal and brick as you can in terms. That way, when you make it towards the end game, that way you don't have to worry about it. But for these teams that are also on the outskirts and talk about looting up, you have to start thinking about Storm Surge. Your pathing is going to be so important, because we saw how many teams went down to the Surge itself.
Here is Poland's finest.
完璧でしょこれ
Winners from Becoming Legends Cities and Cami. This team here has placed top 10 in every finals they have ever competed with together. But wait a second, hold that thought. And Ass and Pink here on the other side of the Joneses. This is a fight that's being
SMACKY.
The last time we were here, Clicks found an elimination with Duke. They actually held it off. Remember when we talked to Reet and Epic Whale, they said, hey, you know what? I believe in the fighting power of NA on this one. They have full confidence that they can do it. Pink and Anas have to jump back.
Yeah, and you got to think back to that NA East Finals where Clicks solo points after solo points, but as long as these 2 guys stay alive, they're going to be contenders for every single tournament they play in. Duke has FNCS champion in trios. Clicks is one of the best individual players on the planet.
We have a huge opportunity here for Duke and Clicks to continue to put up big numbers. We know they had an excellent kickoff to things here as they continue to find their strides. But things are going to slow down, and you know, really genuinely expect this to happen, especially at a Fort Jonesies. This is not a POI big enough for 2.
Yeah, we see Clicks just trying to gather the information. The longer this fight goes and the higher they build, if it comes to it. We got Jason Basil over on the side. Those are the 3rd parties that we saw towards the early of last game. This is Nas Pink trying to get deep into the box. That Evo Chrome Burst AR. We saw how much damage it does to these builds, and it eats through in a second.
Whoa!
ドスウキカマ選手強いな。
Pink and Anas already turning this story on its head here. That's bait there. He sees the shotgun. That moment.
おらんて
Duke does not
コア
let
選
it
手は
drop.
いないんよ
Now, mind you, Clicks has some of the greatest track record in history of taking on head-to-head battles like this. This is why he is so as one of the greats of the space in these kind of moments.
This is where these guys, 66% of their overall victory royales do come from the low ground. Faking and Us, they're just trying to keep a little bit of elevation. They're not ultimate high ground, 3-4 boxes big. They're just trying to keep that advantageous position as long as they can. But this monster, this one's dragging out a little too long. Do you think there's going to come a point in time where they just kind of abandon and try to get to the zone?
Well, I hope it continues because the rest of the lobby is just taking their time. 49 duos are still alive here, and this is one of the only ones deciding to go toe-to-toe. Clicks, once again, gets tagged there. And again, let's talk about the bad blood developing between these two. Pink and Clicks were once upon a time almost duos, as Pink was so close to traveling to United States to play alongside him, but now they find each other on the other sides of the monitor here, going head to head. And I mean, looking at the HP so far, it's looking very good for Gills, NS, and Tundra's Pink.
Yeah, and honestly, let's talk about
地下よりうまい。
そりゃそうだろ。俺は別にこの人たちを開くこと言ってない。うますぎる。
We know what happens when this man has his back against the wall. His bite is much louder than his bark.
This is where Duke does tend to shine right now. These real scrappy types of engagements. This man does not tend to miss a shot. As now they're looking. They know the enemies felt that on the other side of the wall, but hey, the longer they stay here, the less like, you know, the less odds they have to actually survive. The longer.
てかなんでアイプロ変えてんの？
まあまあまあまあ。いろいろあったんよ。メロブーガなんだ。メロ、俺が好きな人や。メロ。パッドの人だよね、多分この人。俺の好きなのパッドの人なんだけど。合ってるよな。
So they just need to find their rhythm here on this international stage.
Talking about international stage, Alex and Bailey, they have taken us from the player lounge to the main stage. Game 2 now, the fight, the second time, the story won't be the same. It's Yusri who finds the trade there, and now has to protect his teammate. A huge shot onto Bailey. It's not looking good for Oceania's champions here, but Bailey waits for the toe-to-toe. He gets the thirst, he needs the points. That's a kind of play you only see in person.
Wow.
Bailey says, respect me, Yusri.
He has some heals to use, but does he have the time? Not finding a way to stabilize. Bailey's gonna get in, but only a sliver of HP, and that's why he's picking and choosing his fights right now. He's just going for piece control first, trying to heal up, getting as much shield as he can, but you can see he has no HP to regain. So that knock on the Juke is so important.
And he knows he cannot allow him to get the heal off here. You will not save your teammate if it's up to Bailey. Yusri may have the health advantage, but Yusri has his back against the wall right now. The defensive trade, a huge shot, and Bailey gets caught with his pickaxe out. Yusri clutches up, saves his teammate, and they
sends him back to the lobby. But third place, NA West, Cool Yumi getting busy already. Elimination on the walks. Now it's up to Rob Bob, trying to stay alive here, trying to get and find a position to where he can hide. You see it in the mini-map. He just got out, and I love that play coming out from some of these players, choosing not to be the hero, because you end up in the hero in the wrong position, you're end up going to be a zero.
Now, Robot doesn't have a lot of experience here. They've only made 2 finals together between Walks and Robot, but there's a huge development happening here. Let's watch this back one more time. Here's how it kicks off. Cool finds the huge tag. All of a sudden, the knock is there. And yes, there was a third party in the side. You get the reaction as well. You can see how fans are cheering in support of one another. But back into the action. Hellfire, Falconer, new duo, you know, pairing up with one another.
They already took down King, so this has got to be Ed coming out from Brazil. EU, NA West, trying to take down the region, trying to bolster their points, because right now the only points they have is that elimination onto King. But with Storm now covering and moving over them, Ultimate Team is now in the distance as well. It's going to become more and more dangerous.
Topfier's one of the only competitors, one of the very few left in our scene that has been here since the World Cup. He plays 5th in duos way back when. Wait for him to step up to the challenge and take on this first FNCS Finals ever together alongside Hellfire there from Denmark. But on one in Baka, did they get the save off?
Himself. He's alive, and it does look like Larson and Smite might know he's there. And this is where On1 has to be very, very careful. Fighting in the storm with very little HP. Larson knocking on the door, trying to burst his way in. You see the bait and switch come through, trying to make sure that both of these players have enough HP to take a big shot from On1 and continue that bait and switch. But he is on the run.
顎がつるってなんすか。
わかんない。顎がつる感じになるの。マジ痛い。これ。ああ。追ってんなー。これはきついなー、敵さん。はい。
They got to go ahead and travel to zone, but back on board, Falconer and Hellfire, but let's just make it Hellfire because Ed was able to take down Falconer.
いや、それはわかる。それはわかるわ。キング
pick and choose his fights. He hears the splashes coming out. He knows that's going on to Falconer. The shield keg as well. He's trying to stop as much of the heals from going through, but it does look like Hellfire is going to get 200 yet again.
Listen, Ed recently signed a team Liquid, showing you guys why exactly he deserves to be here. He has had some of the most impressive rises in recent times on his region, but now he's looking to represent for Brazil. And of course for Argentina, his teammate King, who is already down. Hellfire manages to lose his teammate. The wall gets taken, and Hellfire has to react.
無料 1v1
Look at that.
この
He does not miss a beat. Ed finds the siphon, and now it's an even exchange.
Yep. Right now, the two launch pads on the Hellfire. He can abandon this fight at a moment's notice. But Ed with no HP, it's all or nothing. This is the moment.
Wow! Wow! Oh my god!
Argentina are probably standing on their feet right now. Ed touches up a 1v2.
Oh my gosh, and if somehow, some way,
すげえな現地めちゃくちゃ嬉しそうやな
俺とチカの戦いみたいだったな。
俺がご利用ししてお前がやられるってやつ。
Of the condo down to the territory of Booga and Miro at Chonker Speedway, and yes, they get met with this incredible duo, but it shows you that no one is safe. This entire area is such a deadly play zone, and now you have Reason with the scraps, with his back against the wall, below the storm surge, absolutely ready to commit to this battle.
Yep, Aqua and Reason again, 140 below the damage threshold. And you can see all the players at the top of the damage threshold, but this is again what is going to happen. A triple contested spot where nobody is fighting. That's forcing these players to rotate away to find some extra loot and find the damage. And 165 below, Monster, I would be lying to you if I said I wasn't nervous.
Copenhagen Flames, Pablo and Swag on your screen right now, also below, but hey, a good little tag here of Elin for Swag right now puts him in a nice position. They find a player.
なかなか出ないね。応援してる人。
Focusing on the duo as well, so they're all looking to target Noah Riley and Bad Sniper. Remember, Noah Riley was eliminated very early to the hands of Edgy while they were landing, and he didn't even get to touch down before he was swatted out the sky.
And game number one.
やっぱハイ取るんだな、この人たち。
They haven't even done much. They get the zone for now. They get the high ground. Probably just trying to go for surge. So that way, when they are forced to rotate, they only have to worry about that. But we knew they were down on the surge. Now trying to come over. They're trying to break into the boxes. It's now or never because damage is being dished. A huge shot from Aqua's onto Bevy, who's forced back into a defensive position.
Well, here we go. It's now enough in 20 seconds left, but so the surge gets active, and they have to right now. This is game number 2. Aqua needs these points here. Bevy's manages to go ahead and chug splash his way down. He's back up to Vex HP. He's looking pretty solid, but Aqua not afraid by any means. Meanwhile, Reason finds a wall. That's an angle, but he doesn't like the defensive edit. That response from Bevy and Vortexer. And now, here it is. Things are going to get dicey as the Storm Surge turns on.
Yeah, look at them. You can see 30 below. Even though they're continuously dropping, they're doing damage. Seti getting one on a Peppo, probably sending him back to the lobby as Scram goes down as well. Acorn found a way to get rebooted, but Deja Vu strikes. He goes down again. Honestly, having a much better performance this go around.
But back into the action here. Reason now down to no HP. Aqua is also on the defensive stance here. Down goes Reason. That's a huge shot. From the side. If you blinked, you missed it, and now Aqua has all the pressure on his shoulders. He has to back up. But Vortexer playing smart, respecting the growth of EU. Aqua here, our World Cup duo champion. is now left as a solo. Clock's ticking here. The pressure comes in. Bevy's looking for any angle. These are all enemy walls here. One false move and it could be it, but the surge is going to hurt Aqua.
おう、ザゴたち倒してる。キング倒してる、ザゴたち。えぐ。
500 above the damage threshold. This is only their second FNCS playing together, and they're looking like they are longtime teammates already. As Joe and Z Andy uncontested over towards Synapse Station.
マジ調子いいんじゃない？ザゴたち。
is above the damage threshold. You know as well as I do, that is absolutely nothing.
Mixing in Arctor here. Oh no, they're gonna find a huge elimination here. Another surge fight that's going down. It's tracking the prize.
Million
You
HP.
see folks starting to look over Arctor. Has a decision to make. Does he push in again? They barely have anything. They've used all their heals. One tag is all it's going to take for take them out. Oh,
あ、スナッキー倒してるよ、敵。
And that's a huge punishment there. And with the downed body, he says, you know what? I'm going to full finish here. I'm back in this game. Arctor takes off running for the hills.
That was a much needed battle by Groves, and I like the play again. You cannot be a hero in these lives.
時間があったらな。
Looking like he's having a little bit of trouble here. 202 above the damage threshold. 2 eliminations already, so they win this fight. But you can see the teams on the outskirts of the reels. They don't want to let this be an easy rotation to one of the deadliest teams in the lobby.
The launch pad's already down. Malibu and Mustache cap off HP and hit it. Off they go. It's Chicho and Trulix who are looking in. These guys have gone head-to-head so many times in the past, and you know there is all types of waiting to unfold in front of us. But Chicho and Trulex don't get the elim. They managed to hit the ground running. Malibu and Mustache are waiting here, though. Well, yeah, time to fight back.
He talked about in some of those interviews paying a little bit more.
別に勉強してないんだから暇だろ。
まあ暇やけど。そろそろ期末テストがあるから。あと1週間後に期末テストがあるから。それを抜けて勉強しないといけない。まあ前日勉強でいいんだけどね、本当は。
One thing that is working though is the zone. It pulls pretty close to all the players nearby. Finally, things settle down. Tayson and Chapik's last game.
教えてやろうか。
いや、大丈夫。Let's jump on over to the west side. Let's get to the opposite side. It's Thomas HD and Tripburn. What a great standing so far here. Looking pretty solid. They have Janice and Badil weakened nearby. Booga and Miro are also making it much further this game. Looking like they've adjusted, learned from their last mistakes, but here we go.
数折本戦なあやぞ。
Yeah, and you can kind of see in the circle. The
circle.
The zone is literally in the center of the zone. So I don't think there's going to be too much of any slow side for a lot of these teams to try to travel to. Is Miro taking a couple of shots, but the team that won on trying to have a much better performance. Mr. Savage and Eyedropper under siege, under pressure. Mr. Savage is going to get dropped for now, trying to pass on the resources to Eyedrop because he knows he's going to have to deal with it.
No ray on his back here. Eyedrop has to step up. Savage is down. Can he do it? He's been in so many finals with Mr. Savage, his third appearance now in a big setting like this, but of course, the first return to in-person, they're going to allow, Marine might actually allow him to get the pickup. Whoa, that is a huge mistake there.
Huge mistake, and honestly, these are one of those things that you take a picture, you record this moment right here. Mr. Savage went down, you give a player like that a second chance at life, they will make you regret it. As they're trying to launch their way, trying to find some sort of safety. Sticking box to box, hip to hip, landing on a couple more resources as well. This is a perfect spot to land at for Eyedrop and Mr. Savage. That way they can replenish some of the lost resources.
Such a massive find right there. It was looking like it was all over for a moment. But there, they get a little lucky. Smite and Larson at 4 elims now. It seems like as all the action, as all the cooks jumped into the kitchen, they have managed to walk away with a successful meal or two. They're looking pretty good.
4 elims, like you said. Clown Ref Scar just a little bit above them. You just check a sneak peek at the leaderboard. Cammy and Fate still holding on to first place.
2位に上がってんだけど、ザゴさんたち。 あ、今映ってるよ、スナッキー。
てか俺先週コロナかかった。
俺先々週コロナかかった。4回目。4回目のコロナかかったわ。
気持ちよかった。
でもさ、今回のコロナきつくないんよな。 かり時言っちゃいかんと思うけど、かかり時です。マジでザゴーさんたち普通にある。マジ俺ベテランよ。ザゴーさんたちガチ可能性ある。
Inventory, get some more heals. The Chrome Splash probably going to be used a little bit later just to get that rotation to come through. For them, they found a huge amount of resources. That way they could try to make it towards the next end game. But you see Storm Surge just still affecting so many teams.
Tough spot for being there for Larson as he misses the heal.
Go
down.
Oh.
High ground. It's Vortex in hand. They are just
easy.
Turning this lobby upside down right now. Queasy and Vino are back at it again though in this end game here, trying to find a position.
あ、スナッキー死んだ。リードにボコられた。ハイグラ取り入った。
Yep, I gotta be careful here. Queasy and Vino both know 6 moving zone, which is about to happen here shortly, is one of those zones to where, yeah, you might have the high ground now, but with the amount of launch pads going around, the amount of threats that are in this lobby, you might have to stagger your teammates one forward, one back, just to make sure nobody is able to sneak it away.
Oh, this is looking like a tough situation right now.
でもめっちゃ自利品やなこの人たち。もう死にかけみたいなもんやん。きつそう。
They have some mats, but they will absolutely need a refresher right now. Maybe even a gifted launch pad from a team distance. All around them are so many healthy players. On the other side, Vino and Queasy starting to eye up the lobby, size up the rest of this game here. Booga finds Mareem in the feed. There it is. Is going to start to come through. The first Elim.
中学生で金髪とか不登校の証やん。ごめんなさい。
おっとっと、俺は関与してないんで。俺は知りません。
Kanata still alive in this game as well. Keep an eye out for him, but Seti and Cammy have to defend their lead right now.
中にも金髪いるわ。
ザゴー死んだ。
Meanwhile, Queasy and Vino are still on height. This is one of the toughest end zones as well. Flutter Barn has so much varying terrain. You have to be careful. There are
まだ生きてんじゃん。
large stone monuments in between you and your rotate.
Kanata going down, leaving Macwood as a solo. They at least got one elimination. They don't have to worry too much about damage in terms of Storm Surge. But Booga and Mero showed off, they were well above it. So changing up their strategy, and it's paying off handedly.
The pacing is incredible.
いやマジで1位が残り続けたらマジでやばい。うわうわー。
To the lobby there as he falls, but that's still well inside the top 20. Meanwhile, Vino on high ground, looking very comfortable. No resistance. Larson and Smite are making up for where they left off. They may have not earned a huge game one, but a great game two. And now Miro and Booga are fighting back.
Yeah, two of the big NA West powerhouses going down. They're trying to get another elimination.
Wow!
Wow! Fired, but Miro's getting tagged back up. He needs that Cypher to go through, but it's not going to be enough. PH then does go down. Booga trying to be that IGL. He's trying to lead him to greener pastures, but he's running out of resources. Macwood falls. High ground though. Does Vino and Queasy still have that position onto the high ground of Smart and Lawson? They're not ultimate low, but they found themselves that perfect middle layer.
And you'll notice Booga is now left by himself. KBR finds his teammate Smite and Larson on the ultimate low. Hen and Vortex front side firing back and on height. Vino and Queasy are looking like
うわまだ残ってるわ。
game for EU once again.
1位まだ残ってる。
NA can step up to the damage. Let's see it. Head is going to be punished and now hunted down. Smite doesn't find the full Elim here, but my gosh, already at 6 eliminations. Meanwhile, we jump over. Sensen and Cole still alive here. This is where they do best, like we said before. It's bread and butter. They know how to. They have to now.
Multiple
top placings out of this duo.
やばいってここのチームマジでやばい。
And a huge end game right now in front of Smite here. That top 5 unlocked before him. Cammy goes down, Seti goes down, and it is all his here.
ああ、そのあれか、ヨーロッパの今1位の人か。
Great game there, but Vortex is now by himself. What can he do? Cole and Sentin now have the high ground. They've turned the story around.
I don't know how they sold it away, but Kito's is solo as well. High ground versus low ground, but it's a 2v2. Sentin and Cold versus Vortex.
じゃあこの上の人確か。違う？
This is going to come down to Sentin and Cold when and where
じゃ
they drop
ああれ
down
だ。
low.
Once again, we are looking at an NA versus
PL っていうあそこの1位の人たちだ。
tag there by Vortex in the low ground. 7 elims, no build. It's
初め
looking
て聞いた。
very, very tough, and it's the same story for him as well. It's all or nothing. Can they find something here? But Sentin and
これ上
Cold,
強そう。
although they have the height,
これ
セッティは死んだ。
running extremely low on resources. But if there's a team that can do it, it is them.
これ上強いだろ
Trying to go back outside of zone, trying to find anything to work with in terms of Hen and Vortex. Sentin and Cole, we talked about, it's up to them when and where they drop down low. The game is definitely in their hands. They just have to close it out. EU versus NA East. This one is just a prolonged long game, but the damage is in from Cold. And this is what we talked about.
ああでも
There's nothing you can do. It's all or nothing.
ああでも勝ったわこれは。
But they have the angle. They're going to wait this one out just for a little bit
さすが
and
に
allow the zone to do the rest. Cold finds the
ナイス。うめえ。
You look at that, the passion, the emotion coming out of Sentin.
素晴らしい。
A team from NA East. Honestly, I think they got the right respect coming into this event because of what happened to them last season.
That's right. Cold and Sentin have been here before, and now they get to get a victory in person, on stage against some of the best we have ever
喜びすぎ
seen.
やろ。
And what a way to do it.
喜ぶだろ世界大会で勝ったら。
落ち着け。
俺でも喜ぶぞ。
You heard me talking about wanting them to drop down low. I want to see what they're thinking, how they're feeling. Kelly, let us know.
I am joined here by Cold and Sentin, and you guys, what an incredible run. You gotta tell me
俺喜んだことないわ。
お前は人間じゃない。
I mean, obviously a great strategy, right? But I mean, that final moment there, how did you know how to take them down? Obviously, you guys were kind of in that high ground, low ground fight. What was the final moment like?
Honestly, Cold called to just drop above him and sit there. I don't know. He did most of it that game. He played really well. He's the GOAT.
All right, man. Well, congratulations. You both are the GOAT now. That is game 2 VR for you guys.
成功体験を経験したことがない。
かわいそう。
As EU
まあ俺もないけど。
picks up the first game of the FNCS Invitational, NA strikes back and says, nah, not like this. Cold and Sentin, really quickly, I do want to touch on this. At the start of the show, we talked about possibly taking your shoes off as a form of being comfortable. Taco, you're right.
It's a legitimate strategy, man. Anybody that has played competitive will tell you the same thing. It matters. The more so.
世界大会のビクロイとか余裕すぎて成功とは思わない。
バケモンあ、でも全然ザゴーさんたちまだまだ。
Gosh, these leaderboards always seem to surprise me because even after this incredible game from Cold and Sentin, they're still 34 points behind the leaders in Cammy and Seti, who shout out to them for holding the lead. But this is just so good from Cold and Sentin, and this is the moment that we missed right here. This is the one that Cold was talking about. Queasy and Vino actually make it. This is actually classic for them. I've seen them do this in Elite Cups where they try to quickly pinch a duo that is in these builds, and it usually works out very, very well. But Cold and Sentin hold on very, very well, as Cole mentioned, making that instant edit, getting the shot in, and ultimately they realize Queasy and Vino were the ones on height, and let's go up and take it. And this right here, it's just all about riding the zone. Now you can see the zone point up there going right through the mountain. Hen and Vortex just had no chance after that. Clean win from Sentin and Cold, who, as you can see right there,
Mike Tyson 買ってくれ。
no shoes.
It makes all the difference, man.
It does, apparently, as proven by Sentin. We do have Adam, who is standing by. He's hanging out with a player. Adam.
That's right, I'm hanging out with everyone right now, in particular Smite and Larson, everyone! Smite, that was an incredible display just then. We saw 7 eliminations, you clutched up, you had to, so how imperative is it in this situation, in this environment as well, that you have to try and gain as many points as possible, even when your teammate goes down?
It's really important. I mean, like, you need to get as many points as you can. Like, every point matters. Doesn't matter.
Now, you're being contested as well here, Larson. Muzz and Luta, they're looking like they're fighting each time. Are you guys up for this? How are you managing to deal with that when it comes at you?
We're down to fight every game, and I don't care, bro. I'll fight them every game.
You don't care, bro. They'll fight them every game. Give it up for Smite and Larson, everyone! Thanks, boys. And also over here, I'm delighted to be next to Peterbot and Jamper as well. Jamper! It's been I mean, what an experience being here in this situation, this environment.
マジでもう2時間睡眠は本当にえぐい。
Our original strategy hasn't been working, so we're gonna have to make changes into the next games. But it's very fun playing here. The crowd is amazing, and I'm happy to be here.
And there's still 10 games left, plenty of time to do that.
Yes.
Okay, you got this. You feeling confident? I'm feeling confident for you. The crowd are feeling confident too. Let's hear it from Peterbot and Jamper as you head back to Zeke and the desk.
Thank you so much for that insight coming out of the players. This is kind of what we've been talking about, right? The question has been, once all of these regions finally meet head-to-head on the island, what will happen? Will strategies
俺受験期3時間睡眠続けてた。
No. Because you knew that having to adapt to a meta that is completely different than your own region that you've been playing for several FNCSs now is going to be very difficult.
But if it's anybody that has a strong head on their shoulders, it's going to be Jamper. He's been around for so long, and I love to hear him like, you know, listen, we did the same strategy in games 1 and 2. It's not working. So let's just switch it up. And I love the fact that they are just
今は1、4時間睡眠。
have that mentality, but then also have a backup strategy.
寝すぎだろそれはそれで。
But that's just part of what it means to be part of the 50 of the best duos competing here for the FNCS Invitational title. But not only that, while they might be working on some changes, Cammy and Seti
いやこの人たち安定しすぎでしょ。
They have been maintaining this first place position throughout the first 2 games, and it's definitely a very strong performance here out of this Polish duo. More importantly, I think that Cammy and Seti have just been able to consistently stay working throughout this mid low ground element, despite the fact that we've been seeing a lot of high ground takes and a lot of high ground play.
スナッキー1号キルビクロイする
I
が。
think that Seti and Kimmy did a great job just holding on to this underside congestion control.
You know, we talked about it after game 1. It's like, whoa, Kimmy and Seti are on high ground. This right here, this was more so their style, where it's just like, you know, we're paying attention to the high ground changes that are going on, and then all of a sudden, when you load up the leaderboard, and it's like, okay,
でもまだ全然アジアの人たちまだある。全然ある。
They just got 33 points that game. When did that happen? You know what I mean? Like they love to play these games where they don't like to show up and show out. They just consistently get those points. A couple elims here and there. They're not popping off the elimination feed, but they're just so consistent. And those are the type of games that are scary because, you know, we saw a great performance out of Golden Scented, but still, even after game number 2, they're still like 30 odd points behind because King and Scented are playing so well.
And it's the competitive experience I think that also helps them with understanding, hey, even if I've lost my duo partner in this moment, I can still hold on for moments longer. I think that was a great display there, that closing kit there for Seti and Cammy, and I think that ultimately they're going to probably just keep trying to stay consistent here.
Yeah, I mean, one point we tuned in and they were 500 above Surge. I don't know how that's humanly possible, but for Seti and Cammy, it's just in the office. Let's talk about Queasy and Vino there. They did get edited on, right? And listen, we have, as the viewing audience, we have the much larger perspective, right? For them, in this opportunity, this was the only chance they had.
頭いいよなマジ
We're going to
で。
start to kind of figure out what happened.
Yeah, I'm hoping that, you know, throughout these replays right here, we can maybe catch some insight into why they actually ended up dropping down, because it seems like they were getting refreshes. I know they specifically got one for sort of, you know, moving zone number 2. So it looked like they were chilling on mats, and again, right here,
勝てるとも思ってねえよ。
actually only 2 builds up, so that was the call. Let's go try to get a refresh real quick. Unfortunately, Cold and Scented, they're so good in box fight situations, especially Cold. I mean, you know, Scented picked them up just because he is such that well-rounded mechanical player. And Cold and Scented, you know, one thing that I love about them is they're always on the same page, and it's always incredible to see. And right there was one of those situations, unfortunately, for Queasy and Vino. But I love that out of that.
いやそんな甘くない。
is what is going to
そんなに甘くない。
international stage.
As far as the IGLing is concerned, Queasy seems relatively confident still in that decision. 2 times over now, we've seen this duo go for high ground by the time that first moving zone actually comes into play. And maybe 3rd time's the charm here for this duo.
All in all, though, the high ground strategy is working, right? Second place right now, only 4 points behind first, so just keep doing their thing.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like especially looking at how many eliminations they had, man. 5 eliminations, 5 refreshes, and that wasn't enough to take them through that game. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Cold incented back on them, 44.6 eliminations.
これ何試合あんの？
Sitting in that number 1 spot. Again, 2,800 damage dealt.
That's my favorite stat.
At game 1, we saw it was 2,200, and I thought that is an astronomical number.
Yeah.
Cold incented said, hold on, 1 moment.
So we're going to see, you know, hopefully we keep seeing those
調べよう。これ何
because
したんだろう。
as the day progressive, teams are going to get more and more aggressive, which means that this storm
こんなニートが量産されてるって普通に地獄絵図やろ。
so hopefully we'll see, you know, maybe we'll break into the 3,000s for an individual team, but yeah, 2,800 damage, that is a lot.
But entering the halftime point, essentially,
6じゃないん？
heading into game number 3, if there were ever a time to look for a shift in strategy, like what we heard from a couple of duos earlier, I think that Peterbot and Jamber, they had like the right idea. They're like, hey, it's not working out. This is where you would want to make the adjustments, is heading into game 3.
Let's find out. It is time to see who will rise, who will fall, and how they will adjust to these games. This is game number 3 of the FNCS Invitational. And just like that, we are already gearing up for the next round of action.
Yeah, game number 3 right around the corner, but 2 exciting games. Battle Bus is ready. Not long to wait because game number 3 starts now.
Now we're moving at my pace. Let's do this. Take a look at your
リ
screen.
スニングの練習には少し簡単すぎるな。
Someone here will walk away.
いや、むずいぞ。これ聞き取れたら大体聞き取れるだろ。
A trophy unlike ever before seen in Fortnite, and a chance to call yourself one of the best in the world of Fortnite, not just your region.
And it looks like we have a very similar bus to the last round. That means these northern contested teams are going to fight first. One of the biggest things we saw from game 2 was that early elimination on Sonoma Riley. Edgy quite literally, you know, took him out before he can even touch down. And then, of course, there's this battle here, a battle of who can get the best drop. And what a great way to kick things off. Such a powerful loadout to really start things here.
Yeah, and it does look like Baka and Onwon making yet another adjustment. They win the off-spawn fight in game 1. They lose it in game 2. And this time around,
いや、全然勝てるよ。日本で。わお。
First elimination is going to be on to Looter. So Smite and Larson are finding ways to get things done again.
And A fires back first onto OCE here, and a great find, a great reward comes out of the very little time Larson and Smite had to loot up there. Take a look at these loadouts. It all comes together for them now. You know, sometimes it's all it takes, right? Sometimes it's all it takes is a little bit of luck. You get the right loot, you're able to take that fight, that fight nice and fast and clean it up.
Now the picking and choosing comes through. They're going to slow things down, try to loot up as much as possible, making their way in towards one of the only houses towards Grim Gables, and you can kind of see floating around, and he's not trying to cause motion and put the focus onto him. He's just trying to wait for Smite and Larson to leave and try to get that free reboot onto Looter.
All this pressure onto Muzz's shoulders now as he is trying to wriggle his way through this low ground here. He knows that material is going to be the key to allowing him to do something big here. Achieve the unthinkable, win a 1-2 against Smite and Larson, who built their entire reputation. Smite wants none of that. He walks to the wall. Muzz, you're great, but how good? Smite and Larson come out on top. They clean things up for 2 games in a row now and earn themselves a little bit more.
And as soon as Mr. Savage gives up a little bit of the high ground on when Ibaka immediately trying to take it over, him and iDrop are separated just a little bit, and that could have been a perfect opportunity for them to strike. But everybody is just biding for time, biding for that perfect moment so that they can pounce. And this one that we talked about, you heard it from Mr. Savage, you heard it from iDrop. I've been landing here for a year straight. No one is going to scare me off.
Well, the real question is iDrop walling out right now? He's getting very close to Onwon and Baka.
みんな別の地域から大体みんな集まってるから勝手か分かんないだろうな。頭良い今のプレー。
And all of a sudden, now they reevaluate.
Yeah, I like the outside of the box thinking coming out for a couple of players in the game already, bringing out their protractors, trying to find that extra angle. And that's the thing, if you have all that confidence in your teammate as a solo, you'll allow them to kind of play with the angles, play with the high ground, and try to see what they
Wow!
get 149 damage,
うますぎ。
disappearing off the back of On1.
Wow!
Another shot's gonna be fired.
あー惜しい。でも全然おおうますぎる。サベージサベージ。
He's back in it. Meanwhile, Malabuk and Murstache, one of the greatest duos we expected to show up today, put on such a performance, have been met with so much resistance every single turn. There's a new great team waiting for them. This has been probably their least favorite duo to meet, though.
Yeah,
Chapik and Tayson.
It does look like they're fighting over the vault that is right below him. Doesn't want to let that one go easy. But you got to be careful because there's a third team landing towards Cloudy Condos.
テイソンだって28とかなのかマジか。もうちょい上かと思ってた。
Helping hand, trying to get that storm surge damage for themselves and make your job that much harder for Malabuk and Mustache. It's all about trying to find the perfect angle, trying to find that information, trying to catch player off guard because we already know they're one of the most aggressive teams in this lobby.
あールナ
See it. You're waiting, trying to capitalize on any opportunity here.
ルナ
know what Tayson is capable of.
かぶってる。それを負けてんな。
In the European region, he has done it all. He has proven it all. All that's left is for him to show up in person and put the numbers up. But it's no easy task right now. Malabuk and Murstache are so good playing defensively right now. They're doing a great job, but Tayson is slowly, inch by inch, getting closer and closer.
He won't let that piece control go over. Tayson has tried a few times, but you try again. Eventually, you'll find some success. They're able to take it just for a few seconds, but the longer you fight this far out of zone, it's going to get more and more dangerous because we got a little bit of a north zone going on. These guys are going to have to end this one sooner than later, even if they both choose to disengage.
今日だけじゃないからな。
Murstache fighting back here, trying to regain the walls here.
Oh, that's a nice one.
Huge tag on Chapik here, nicely done.
今日15位とか15位以内ぐらいまでに入っていけば15位じゃないかな10位以内に入っていけば全然1位ありえるからわおうますぎうますぎそりゃうまい 勝つつぶわんあでもさすがにあーどんまい GG やなこれは
Because not only does it get you elimination points, it gets you the storm surge, so you don't have to worry about it later in the game as Chimp and Scram trying to get things going for them. Chimp, one of the most consistent players in NA East. You got Pamsu and Batch on the other side, also from NA East, so they have a lot of familiarity in terms of fighting against each other. Scram is going to be the odd man out, and you see him trying to find some separation because him and Chimp are not that close together. And all it takes is for both of them to kind of bum rush into one box and kind of end their run.
Now jumping over to the other side of the map, as we all know, this area, one of the most hotly contested zones right now, Tilted Tower. Every single in-person event has always...
来たわこれ急に音ついたくなったな よし。ペポー。ペポー。あー、どんまい。しょうがない。しょうがない、しょうがない。
One of the few representatives for the Asia region have now been taken out. Cold and Sensen on the other side after a hot win there are now positioned up dead center, and it seems like they have done enough. This villain story that we've seen unfold over the weekend, contested in the lead up. Malibu and Mercer are still problems on the horizon. Could it be? Of course, Booga and Mira
バムさん、お疲れ様です。
and pick them off. I knew they were going to go on top of the monument to try to get the storm.
え、俺さ、これ入ってるよね。
And he's beat them to it and took down one of the players from the NA West Championship. Leave cool by himself yet again, but how many 1v2s can you take? This is Peter Bob.
はい、お疲れ。
おはようございます。
おはよう。どう？
待って、もうちょっと。バブさん声出して。
あー。
Thank you so much, Monster. Now, this is a prime example as to how to finish a fight quickly, right? We know PH Scene and Ketos are fighting in the middle of the map. They need to finish this fight quickly, and look at that. Pinching from both angles, getting that storm surge done early, as well as bolstering their loot. Look out for this team for the rest of the game.
フォートナイトの方の音がちっちゃいのかな。大きくするか。
For the Brazilian region, PH and Ketos, man, wait for them to just really show out. You know, the discussion and lead up to this entire event was things are going to be easier. You know, let's not respect these guys. And now all of a sudden they're saying, hold up. No, hold my water. Hold my mini shield. Let me show you what I'm capable of. And I am so impressed by what we have seen.
And you're seeing a lot more activity in this game than the previous two.
寝てました？
They're starting to fill each other out. They're realizing how hard it is to get Storm Surge later on in the game. So they're trying to get it as early as possible. So that when they end up in those close zones, they can pick and choose.
ちなみに俺1時寝た。
Instead of Storm Surge saying you have to go or you're going to go back to the lobby.
俺2時間しか寝てない。
Very much short so far. You saw the standings there. 4 points.
ザゴーさんたちやべえ。
マジ？
うん。ザゴーさんたち今5位だった気がする。
ほんとや。
5位だよ。あ、待って、招待するわ。入ってきてよ。
これなんで見れないんだろうね。
何？
大会のとこで。
But take some as well. It's going to be above the damage threshold. So once again, they can find a way to kind of rotate forward. And I want to see them do that now because history says when Clix and Duke fall behind the zone, they somehow find a way to kind of not have those good games.
I think the player base tends to forget the scene.
でもね、ルナペポがちょっと不調かなぐらい。なんか絡まれ方がかわいそうだもん、毎回。でも最初良かったよ、ルナペポ。最初が10位で、そっからずっと初動視してる。
うわ
で今2試合初動視してる。
Yeah, we're pretty active in
で
game number
1位がめっちゃ安定してるんよね。
Game number 2, game number 3, 164 below the damage threshold. The lucky thing for them is not only are they right at the edge of zone, they have rotation right above them, they have elevation right above them, so they're able to kind of lay their eyes on the land and try to find the shots. But Bevy and Vortex are under siege yet again. Luckily for them, they're 153 above the damage threshold, so they can pick and choose. Do we fight this here? Do we kind of wait a little bit longer? And it looks like they're just going to peek, try to get even more surge and hunt down these teams. As Vortex takes a huge amount of damage.
Vortex versus Vortex surge for a second there. Don't be confused. Two very different duos.
お前匿名やし。
alive right now. We've seen them put up some exceptional performances today so far, especially in that game 1. They were the upset to Bugha and Miro. Game 2, not quite where they wanted to be, but this here is a chance at redemption. They find Robab and Walk on the edge of zone. Malabuka from the storm to the new safety of the zone. It's not looking good though. He has lost his teammate.
Yeah, early games they were below on damage, not getting too aggressive, and you see the A's duo taking out Brazil as well. King went down.
Oh wow 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 wow.
Malabuka. Do they know he's weak? That is the biggest thing, because if they know he's a solo and they know he has a total of 86 HP and shields, you know as well as I do, they're probably going to go, but that's information that they lack.
Well, don't yell too loud. Let's go ahead and
jump into Bad Sniper, Noah Riley
right now. They're starting to high up the competition on the other side of the wall as well.
俺も最初そうだった。でも今ちょっとね、回復した。めちゃくちゃ眠い。
Are they in a world of trouble? Can I actually do it? And Bad Sniper says, instincts. I want to take this fight right now.
He heard.
Wow!
Get cracked by Storm Surge, and he immediately looked that direction. Bad Sniper and Noah Riley coming out with a vengeance here in game number 3.
俺一応上で見てるからね。飛ぶマークみたいなところからピョンって飛んだら上にいる。
Still alive by himself. Jason Basil, they're trying to attack right now, but Malabuka doing a good job. He's doing everything that he can. Pressure from so many angles. Is he going to be able to escape?
Let's see it go down. Jason Basil have an incredible win rate in these close game battles in the early zones, and look at that. All of a sudden now they add to it, padding the stat, making it look nice and solid. Clicks and Duke thought about it. They say, no, OCE boys, you got it. I'm getting out of here. And that is so much respect because they are so far
しゃがんでここが一番強い。
They need it more than anyone. As do, oh my gosh. Our game leader Seti and
おはよう、ウルさん。
This is so bad for them.
They just need to be able to find a position front side of zone, but they think it's the less traveled, but there's so many teams in front of them. 3 directly on the right, 3 directly on the left. One is behind them, and it's hot on their heels. That's Noah Riley, that's Bad Sniper. You shot by Cammy.
今映ってる人たちがやべえ。この人たちマジ安定してる。え、勝った。
Bad Sniper gets to represent for France. They're taking down our Polish duo alongside Noah.
ザゴーさんたちマジ悪くない？
Way to do it there. Switzerland has to be happy, but let's jump on over to Rizon, who is of course representing for the EU side and Germany. But let's see it. Aqua looks for something. He's got Duke in his sights. Duke claps back, and Aqua's hurt. He loses reason. Aqua manages to find a 2-for-1 special and cleans things up.
Yeah, Duke because getting chunked out by the zone. He had 2 players hot on his heels. It's not the exact position you want to be in, but these guys can show up at any moment in any game. But for them, they're down 3.
And 1 shot, 2 elims, a very rare occurrence.
When you're that good, you're that good.
That is true. Here's an ass in pink. We already know. Now, their biggest problems are down. They're out. Keto's in.
この人めっちゃあれなんかな、現地の選手なのかな。めちゃくちゃ騒がれてる。あれ？バブさんどこに
日本の数使われてるやん。
愛。知らずに使ってるよ。
かっこいい。
そう、かっこいいからっていう。
あれ、紫サージきついやつだな。
うん、多分。
わかりやすい。
でもさ、いや、ザゴーさんたちここで生き残ったらマジやばいよ、ポイント。一応落ちてるから、全然ある。片言。
Come up here, let's go ahead and recycle that. Can they find it? There it is. They do get it. And they go in the opposite direction. That is the difference in strategy.
何これ？
Closest way of least resistance to
このぐらいだ、何？かっこよ。めっちゃかっこいいやん、これ。
なんかインベントリにジャンパみたいなのない？
あ、ジャンパあるよ。なんかね、 俺もびっくりした最初見た時。
ああ、設置型ジャンプやろ。
うん、なんか 2,3 個みんな持ってるから。
さっきの人
なんかアイテム化になったの本当に意味わかんない。
あ、アイテムとして使えるってこと？
うん。
へえ。そうなんや。でもみんな持ってるよ、ジャンパー。
そりゃそうだろう。
どのチーム持ってる？
絶対持つだろ、ジャンパー。
Man, you don't see this very often where it's your drop spot where you start off and the zone just lands directly on top of you. So they are being served up.
Yep. And right now, for an end zone like this, when it is on your drop spot, you already know how to traverse every piece of terrain that is still trying to do wonders. Not a lot of HP on PH Sin, so these guys down on the Storm Surge have to figure out what they're going to do, because if they wait too much longer, they will be down. They will be out.
Well, here it is. Luckily for them, the threshold is met, and they do not have to fight. They know what's in front of them now. They have a huge monumental task to step up here. You can see there, that's a wall.
でもさ、3キルしててダメージ足りないってやばくない？
やば。
相当レベル高い。
We know the Brazilian region to be one of the most aggressive. PHZin is literally tied for third for the most champions individually in his region and globally. So that's a team that has
いい場所取った。いや、マジでうまい。ザゴーたちマジでうまい。ああ、行くな。
サージ見たかったね、ザゴーたち。
うん。大丈夫だよ、多分。あなた結構攻めてるもん。さっきからずっとキルしてる。1試合目3位だったよ、ザゴーたち。
やば。
で、ペポルナが11位とかだった。マジでアジアでガチ調子いい。あ、倒した。
キルしてるやん。
そうよ。ザゴー、
やめた方がいいで。
さすがにバカにしすぎた。はいはいはいはい、ザゴーさんたちどんどんキルしてるよ。ズーが人気ありすぎだろ。うわー、うわー、運悪い。俺途中であれ取り行ってくるから、朝マック取り行ってくるから。
なんでやねん。
一人で話してて。
They actually got an elimination each on the team as Scented and Cole trying to get to that front side of zone. They have that victory royale in the last game.
固まったんだけど。
Of the damage threshold. Luckily for them, not too many players have to go down before they go ahead.
ね、マジさ、ね、俺のさ配信見てほしい。で、これ以上にさ完璧なカメラワークないやろっていうレベルの素晴らしいカメラワーク。だって画面一つも邪魔してない。
やばい、画面固まったんだけど。
何動かない？一時すれば動くよ。ハイグラ勝負やべえ。でもな、ずっとさっきからハイグラの人が勝ってるからな。おう、ザゴーさんたちまだいつよな。エピックフェール。うわ。
Representing for Brazil right now, and they are almost inching their way to the top 10 right now, but Cold and Scented are right in front of them. This is where they do the most work. This is where they play best.
Yeah, they're just recycling a lot of those builds towards the low ground. Trippin trying to take that cheeky shot to the backside of zone. Elevation up. Thomas HD probably leading the charge. Make sure that these guys
やべえ、ブーが一人の状況なのにめちゃくちゃキル、ちゃんとキルしてんのやば。偉すぎ。ヤゴーさんたちまだ生きてるな多分。すごいすごいすごいすごい。うわー、まだ生きてる、まだ生きてる。ガゴーエリムチーム生きてる、まだキルしてるし、なんならマジでうまいんだけどこの人たち。あーでも上りザゴーさんたちキルしてる。うわうわうわ、おうおうおうおうおう、やばい、ザゴーさんたちやばい。あ、でもきついか。まだ伸ばせる、まだ伸ばせる。回復させてる。マジである。
This could be huge for Asia. This could be huge for Zagu and Miram. But Joe and Ziani, they have the high ground. Oh no, wasn't able to get the revive off. This is going to be huge. He's the only solo left in the world of Doom.
マジである。
Oh no, but he knows that's enemy build. He goes up, the side jump. He has enough. He takes high ground, but no. Ziani's here to back up. He goes for the fall.
きついそれ。
Chimp and Scram.
うまい。
They are having an opportunity here, but no. Chimp does not take advantage. He is now by himself. He has lost his teammate.
まだ来てる。
2までいけば。
2までいった、2までいった、2までいった。1v2。でも、いやこれはきついな。12個あるしな、タグが。いやでもすごいすごいすごい。やばくない？
めっちゃやばいやん。
アルファチームやばいけど。さっきからずっと戦績いいよ。マジで。
And they have all the momentum now. And this is what I love about in-person events because they get to take that walk straight to center stage, and we actually get to hear from the competitors. What a treat for us.
3時までずっと YouTube 見てたの？
These players, right to
本当ね。やることをやってた。
おお。なるほど。
やることはやってた。
So I swear I was watching the game and I saw Acorn and Edgy had height. I turned around, looked back, and then you guys had it. How were you able to take it?
We just sped it up and cleared 90s to the sky limit.
It was absolutely incredible. Not only did you
あれ？
get the
俺
VR,
さ
but you also walked away with 9
ツイートしてるよ
eliminations,
な。
I believe. Is aggression a big part of your play style?
Yeah, we want height just spraying down getting kills.
So from now on, are you guys going to be going for height every game, or is it mostly circumstantial?
We'll see.
Yeah, and how are you feeling about the remaining 3 games today?
あれ？
Good after that game now.
As you
やべえ、
should
俺
be
ツイートしてない。
feeling good. Everyone, one more time, make
ちょっと
some
待って。
noise for these two right here. Thank you guys for joining me. Enjoy your break, and we're going to be heading on to the desk.
Joe and Zandy, victory royale in game number 3 of the FNCS Invitational. A huge way to show up, and not only victory royale, but accompanied by 9 eliminations. Tokata, that's what you want to see on this stage.
It's what you love to see, right, Zeke? Those big VRs that boost you up in that leaderboard. I mean, we saw Queasy and Vino dominating the high ground in the first 2 games initially, but Joe and Ziandi now showing how it's done, not only securing the VR, but also with a good amount of Elix.
And you know what'sマジでよく生き残ったな。あそこまで。
all the way down to the south, down in Sign-Up Station, just before the zone started closing. It was 5th zone, I believe it was. They had 3 eliminations. They sorted out their Storm Surge early on. They got the materials, and they were able to take high ground so effectively. I like the way they played it too, Takara. They were playing one up front side, one up back side. No one was
I love how they've adapted. They were actually originally going to be contested by Baka and On1 in the Synapse Station, but now having it uncontested, they have to figure out how to get that damage, you know, before the late game and not have to worry too much about those rotations. But they've done it, and it's showing.
Looks so good here, especially to finally be able to kind of to get those wheels moving, right? To get these players finally in that place where they can say, look, okay, regardless of what has happened in previous games, we're all ready to go. And we're ready to put numbers on the leaderboard. Let's take a look at said leaderboard and see how things are shaking out. Remember, we have another 3 games left today. We'll be back tomorrow for the last 6. Queasy and Vino now tied with Meram and Zagu. And I just gotta say, the international teams here, Japan, Brazil, y'all are showing up huge.
This is what you love to see from an international event. Queasy and Vino were fan favorites coming in from EU, but now seeing Meram and Zagu tied for that first place spot. Queasy and Vino, they got knocked out in 6th zone this last match. They had a very strong first 2 games, but this third one was not so strong. But if you want to get that first place spot, you have to stay on top, and that is what the duo from Asia is doing.
Yeah, and things were looking peachy for them, right? They were picking up eliminations, they were looking good, they had the materials to go for their classic high ground take, but unfortunately, it couldn't quite work out for them, right? They were just getting sprayed from all different angles. Maybe it was a positional issue, maybe Queasy might have to take blame for that, but you know what? There's still plenty of games to go.
You gotta hope that they can just make the adjustments, right? It's fine, they're still in first place, right? Even with the situation, they go down in 21st place. In that game, they're still in first overall in the leaderboard. But for right now, why don't we toss it over? Adam is standing by with Vortex.
俺、順位見ちゃった。すごいね。
何？
言っていいのかな？
ダメだよ。
Cotton candy. I'd love to take credit, but it could be the points you've scored thus far. Second place in game 2. Hen, how are you feeling after the first 3 games of FNCS Invitation?
Not good enough.
どこ？
We got second place in the second game, but the first and the third game weren't good enough, and hopefully we can fix that.
待って、俺 LINE で送るわ。
Yeah, that's about it.
今映ってる顔よ。今映ってる顔の右側。
いや、YouTube 見てる。
YouTube？なんで
？YouTube でお前の下見てる。
なんで？お前おらんやん。16位で50ポイントか。あ、でもまだ。
9 games to go. That sounds like fun.
That sounds like fun indeed. Thanks very much. Massive shout out to Head and Vortex. Let's head back to Zeke on the main stage.
Just kidding, Adam. Surprise for you here. It's actually me, Vivid, on the stage. Shout out to
the
players.
Number
3 is done. Into the halftime we go. Some of the players will have an opportunity to make some changes, just like Booga and Mira have. As you can see here, some of those early games.
いや、メロマジでうまい。俺もうメロ好きだからな。
So they're actually gonna go ahead and make sure to prioritize some of these tags before they're even fully loaded up. Mira right here has a pistol, and he's still making sure to find those opportunities in that early game. Now, of course, this is something that you love to see out of Booga and Mira. This is something that they usually do. Move just to the north of them, over here at this area, set up on this hill, and find plenty of tags throughout this early game to make sure that they are set on Storm Surge. And they actually sit up here for so long that Hen and Vortex are not even expecting them to still be up there. And they get this nice sneaky beam in here to make sure that their Storm Surge is looking good. And then listen, this is the adjustments that I was talking about. Look at this. Booga and Miro sitting all the way back in the storm, knowing that Malabuka and Merstash have been making this late rotate with the balloons as well, to make sure that they get some Storm Surge tags on them as they fly through the air. He does get the knock, ultimately doesn't find the elimination, but the adjustments are being made, and that's what we love to see. Now let's check out what Zeke has for us.
Thank you so much, Vivid, for that breakdown. As we come back to the desk, we have a very special guest joining us here on the analyst desk. It's none other than Cypher PK. You guys can give it up. I mean, we all know Cypher is pretty incredible at everything he does.
無制限っていう T シャツ着てんだけど。
Cypher, how's it going, man?
何無制限っていう T シャツ。
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
本当や。
How are we feeling so far?
無制限っていう T シャツ面白くない？
The first 3 underway.
だからこの人マイク入ってないし。
3 left. are your thoughts?
It's been exciting, man. We've seen some crazy changes, right? I mean, we went into it kind of having expectations. We thought, you know, we saw these teams do well. We saw the Queasy and Vino, of course, still doing very, very well. But some of the smaller regions, some of the maybe lesser-known players have turned up today. It's been great to see. We've seen changes in strategy, of course, as well. Some crazy zones that have really
It's what you love to see, though, right? In an international competition like this, teams all over the globe popping off, right? I mean, right now, I saw some predictions coming into this tournament, and they did not look like the leaderboard.
Yeah, that's
back
here on the analyst. Sorry about that, Cypher. I forgot to turn on your mic. That was on me.
It's all good. It's all good.
翻訳しろって言われてんのに、お前じゃないだろ。
ああ、違うか。
今喋ってる人だよ。
ああ、なるほどね。
なんか突っ込めよ。
いや、めちゃくちゃ俺かと思ってた。
Some of them are veterans, some of them have LAN experience, and that is going to benefit them. But
they're
kind of here for the first time.
Yeah, yeah. Is there like a duo you feel like? These are the ones I think are going to win.
Well, the duo from Japan, I mean, I'm glad to see like a smaller region pop off on like an international level, so I'm kind of rooting for them.
That's right, dude. Zago and Maron, they are absolutely like it's weird too. They're
just
running
Zago マジで生存能力高い。
まあ、ザゴの話してるよ。
だから。
ザゴ単体だったよね。
いや、あれやばくない？だってさ、めっちゃ HP ミリなのに2位まで持ってったからな。すごすぎる。
Bad end of that, I want to see some adjustments from them and see if they can like put aside their ego and just make the right play, maybe land somewhere else or change it up. I mean, there's some spots on the map that might still be uncontested, but you know, you're looking for that scrap loot and trying to make it to end game. You might not want to make that change in the middle of the tournament, but it could be beneficial.
Yeah, I mean, you are pretty much known as like one of the guys that can adapt to anything, right? Think back all the days of like, I'm going to build a tower here and I'm going to throw a million traps in here and oh, it's a convenient launch pad. Do you maybe have advice for some of these players? Maybe things you would hope they kind of like consider?
早く順位見たいな。
うん、マジでおもろい。順位は見てしまった。
もう話しすぎってこの人。早く見たいんだよ、順位を。見させてくれ。
英語が分かれば面白いんだろうね。
まあね、確かにね。
Yeah, yeah. Do you have like a favorite moment that has happened so far? Like anything that stands out like, yo, that moment was wild.
I mean, I've seen some crazy
俺、お前の声調節しないけど大丈夫そう声。
聞いてくるわ、ちょっと。
And the amount of FNCS championships, it's insane. I would not want to be playing against these guys. So to do a 1v2, and we've seen a few already, and I think we're going to see a little bit more going on. That's super impressive.
Yeah, I mean, watching a lot of these 1v2s happen, kind of like to what you're saying, it doesn't just happen, right? Like it's kind of like walking up to professionals of your equal caliber and just be like, I'll just 1v2 you guys in front of a live audience, kind of casually, no big deal. Look,
この人たちマジでずっと前からおるよな。
Especially in an in-person event like this, you hear the crowd cheer when you get that clutch, and it's exciting. But I'm curious, Cypher, we've seen multiple duos from Brazil right now in the top 5, in the top 10, a duo from Asia tied for first place. We've seen a lot. But I want to know, what do you want to see that has not happened yet? Let me know if there's something that you're looking forward to happening.
Well, I guess one thing that I did want to see was some of these smaller regions pop off, and we're seeing that with Brazil and Japan. And I think like some of the less conventional playstyles and duos that people don't know about showing up on the main stage and doing really well, like that kind of shakes up the scene, and that's what I wanted to see. And we're seeing it live, and then you're also feeling the crowd react, and they're rooting for some of the underdogs as well, which is great to see. So it's been a blast.
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible. I mean, seeing all these players here together with each other as well, getting to interact. How important do you think that is on a player level?
1位出たな今。91ポイント。誰だった？ 2位は。
I mean, it's all good on a player level, but even just from a competitive standpoint, this is esports, like competing in front of an audience and you know, having that pressure on you and still performing.
マジで悪くない？
That is a true testament.
マジである。
If you win online tournaments,
可能性しかない。
可能性だろ。
Cypher BK, thank you so much for your insight, brother. It's great to have you here in
すごくない？
Fans, if you see him, make sure you stay
マジすごい。
でも今ので分かった。逆転可能なんだねこの。なんか1試合残ったらだって40ポイントぐらい入るから。 キルすれば50ポイントぐらい入るから。誰？
できないことはないんだよね。
でもさ、いやペポルナは後半が強いから上がってくるよどうせ。初動さえ勝っとけばな。あの人たちめっちゃ強いのに。
あそこ仕方ないもんな、位置的に。
あ、しゃあない。
俺明日多分できないよこれ。
何が？
だってずっと画面固まってる。
なんかさ、著作権のなんか全て再生みたいなやつさ。
全てミュートです。
全て再生しないと聞こえる？聞こえなくない？著作権が入るくない？これ入んないのかな？
それでも固まるの普通。
まあそっか。ザゴミリもやべえ。解説する人たちもみんなびっくりやろうね。
びっくりした表情は出してないけどな。
だってアジアって弱いって言われてたからさ、ずっと。そいつらが今1位やで。今あれか、クールタイムか。V1 できんとけ。
触れたこのステージ。
触れてない。じゃあ俺左から入っていくわ。はい。なんこれ。Writing open。はい。何？何？
これようわかんないんだよね。
何？何もできない。触れないし。どういうこと？あれだ。9、8、7。10出てくるこれ。お前、右側行けよ。じゃあ。勝負か。はっ！よし。よし。くそ。ああ！当たらん！当たらん！当たらん！当たらん！オッケー？オッケー？オッケー？くそ。オッケー？くそ。オッケー？当たらんマジで。オッケー？くそ。当たらん！やばい。ボコられてる。ボコられてる。
勝った。
キモすぎの
30。
じゃあもう一回。はい。キモすぎ。マジで。ガチでキモい。何最後の連打。俺もう何もしなかったんだけど。最後。
慣れてきた最後。
はあ。
あかんな。
どこだ、そこか。は
41
次か、次か。次か。次か。んどこだったっけあれあ、じゃあこっちだ。
いや、これはパッド対キーワードだから。
えじゃあ、これか、次。行こう。
あれ
あれああ、これあれだ。シーズン1の、アジアはこの人が勝ちましたよ、みたいな。じゃない ?SNC でさ、これ、ほら、シアルルリザート、マーフィン、書いてる。アジア。誰
フラム知らない？
わからん。懐かしいファックスボックスピーターパン。ボブ。何こいつ？ドラ、スマ、ボブ。
多分ルリ君じゃない？
だよね。クジャクナイトルアリス。
どっち？
タカちゃん。アレン、フォー、シャモキー。これあれでしょ？丸尾でしょ？
多分。
これはルナペポ？ここら辺からルナペポじゃないの？ここって。
3連チャンルナペポだね。
ここはここ。ルナペポやな。で、ここはここ。ザゴーさん？ザゴーや、ここ。
反省中。
で、今、あれか。ここに刻まれるわけだ。
無制限の人のとこで止まってんだけど。
なんで？
俺多分できない気がする。なんか固まるもん。
じゃあここだね。いや、これはショップだったんよ。これ見た。
あ
あ。これが？これ。プレイヤー1。はい。
ボックスファイトじゃない？
もう余裕すぎて笑った。余裕すぎて笑った。まだ始まんないよな。大丈夫だよね。まあ、俺
あと14秒。
一応ツイッチで見てるから、フォートナイトの方。大丈夫大丈夫。よし。
あれ？始まんなかったね。
もう一回。
前に出るみたいな。出ないか。
うん。おい。勝負だ、勝負。8、7、6、5、4、3、2、1。
壊れてるっていう。
わかった。こっちが、あれだ、チームだ。
あ、そういうことね。
じゃない？多分、絶対これじゃん。絶対これだ。こうだ。俺の名前長え。ない猫、71猫。
どうした？
長えな。 フォートナイトの公式に日本人おった今。ザゴーなんとかって書いてた。来た。ドラッグ好き。
サイレンサー好き。
はい、はい、甘え。甘えすぎて笑った。待って、そろそろ始まるかもしんない。
マジかよ。始まったとして見れんからな。
なんで見れないの？
わかんない。
めちゃくちゃ始まってたわ。
Let's go ahead and just pick things up and get right to it. Game 4 is underway. The players are already landed off the battle bus. If you were walking around, take a seat because it's time to get into the action.
And it's already looking like Kanata trying to get busy. Taking down Vortexers for the first elimination of the game. Ascended.
全然流れてるけどな、俺視点。
The angles and the pressure is already coming out. These guys have been battling all weekend long for that contested drop spot in the middle islands. And with Pars dropping, Raze has the world of pressure on his shoulder in this game.
It's so crazy because we didn't think they were going to be able to do it.
Nope.
Get past this. What feels like crazy hurdle being contested on an in-person event should honestly cross you out of the equation here, but not for these competitors. They don't let that little inconvenience stop them. If anything, they weaponize.
ザゴーさんたちここ降りてんの？
そうだよ、めっちゃ強いよ。
なるほどね。
や
べえ、盛り上がってる。ザゴーミリムで盛り上がってんだけど、会場が。すげえ。
Commandment and Avery all landing towards the rave cave. Luckily enough, this is one of the biggest POIs.
一番応援してるところはどこですか？マグさん。
アジアのチームです。
あーね。まあそれはそうやけど、海外だったらどこ？
海外？俺海外あんま詳しくないからな。
あーね。俺はメロブーガのところやな、海外で言えば。でも俺はやっぱ日本人が勝ってほしい。なんか知らない武器が多すぎるんだけど。
知らない武器何？教えてあげるよ。
スナイパーみたいな。
あー、スナイパーあんの？
なんか連射するスナイパーみたいなやつだったよ。
連射するスナイパー？
みたいなのがあった。GMR のなのかな？多分違うと思うけど。
あ、あれか。なんかストーム付きスナイパーライフルみたいな。
ああ、多分それ。多分
そんな感じか。
この人たちもまあまあうまいか、まあまあ強い。大体対面勝ってる。
あ、ただまた。
スマイプ。もしもの時は謝罪動画が。この度は映ってなくて申し訳ございませんでした。
わお！映ってなくて。
わお！わお！
映ってなくて
映ってなくてごめんなさい。
play by Larson, reading him like a book. He's turned the page and got an elimination as Mr. Savage strikes again.
Savage
goes down. Baka has to go ahead and figure out what to do.
いや本当に映ってないわ本当に。
Trying to get those angles. Right now they're just trying to alleviate the
マジで
Brazilian duo that you're talking about.
じゃあ一回個人で見に行ったら。ど
ういうこと？
だからさ途中から入ってきたやん。うん。だから映ってないかもしれないよ。だから一回一人で入ってそれでも映ってなかったらもう無理。
お前に任せるわ。
は？俺朝無理やってたから最初しかおらんよ。明日は6時半ぐらいまでしかおらん。
Don't get to show us what they're made of in a clean 2v2.
Another team's kind of floating in towards Chrome Jam. That is the Asian powerhouse. But over here, towards the islands, towards Mighty Monument, you have the
elements here. That's
Basil, that's Chase that are under pressure. High ground is seemingly right now cemented to the PSG TNA duo.
Now Yumi is very solid.
ペポルナマジで初動抜けてくれ。
has no teammate to work with here, and he is trapped inside this stone build here. This is a very tough tower to play out of. Awkward position to build, and the terrain gets extremely weird. He does drop a few layers, but there's only 2 exits, and one of them's cut off.
途中から入ってきたからみたいなやつ。僕ね。
Look at this. He goes out the back windows there, and that is that game knowledge kicking in there.
そこの族はやばい。
Looking so solid. This is what they do on a day-to-day basis, isn't it, Jacob?
Yep, this is exactly what they
nice.
do here with that stunning performance last season. Even though it was a 2-day competition, they ran away with it on day 1, and when push came to shove, they held on to it in day 2 to take home that crown. But you can kind of see the Brazilian duo slowing things down just a little bit. They thought it was going to be an easy third party on Mr. Savage and Baka and on one, but it wasn't as easy as we thought.
Definitely, and of course, plenty of highlights as well. Let's get caught up with how this unplayed and unfolded. So on one just gets
up on there. うめえなマジでサベージ。
No, I'm not going through that. We're going to go and take the easy path here.
But that's exactly what iDrop was kind of talking about. He said, I've been dropping here for 12 months.
Right.
I'm ready to fight. I'm not splitting.
ジャンパーを手持ちにするっていうのは悪くない全然いい案。
type of consistency, mix that with an opportunity to take the end game. This is a recipe for a duo that can catch fire at any moment because you got to remember.
あれ固まったわ。動かない。動かない。あ、動かないわ。固まった。ちょっと待って。一回抜けて。やべえ。固まってしまった。俺の画面もとうと
う。なんか一生動かないよね。固まった。
そう、一生動かん。もう一回見よう。よし。
ああ、俺も開始30秒で止まったわ。これはもう無理ですね。
無理っすか。
なんで見れないんだろう、リプレイで。
リプレイ見れるんじゃないの？見れないの？
うん。
あ、そうなんだ。 あ、落ちた。
これ、あ、どうしようかな。
でも一応今あれでしょ、試合中みたいなのになってるでしょ。
どういうこと？
大会の方。
開催中ってね。
それで見れないの？それで。そっから入って
見れないよ。
そうなんや。ザゴー。ザゴン、ザゴン、ザゴン、ザゴン、ザゴン、ほう、うますぎる。
And then they just W key straight across as well. They're like, you're not going to get that save whether you want to or not. We're here to fight and we're going to make sure we solidify the elim. That will effectively allow them to
さあ、1位、ザゴーチームです。
breaking the tie. Now Vino and Queasy
現在1位。
are just behind them. And this is going to become a matter of who can survive the longest and play the best, of course. So this is still a moment, and big decision to make. Chrome Splash is a launch pad. It looks like
launch pad.
What are you choosing? I like the Chrome Splashes personally.
I'm trusting in their gut. It doesn't matter what I want. They got the launch pad. I want the launch pad too.
Go ahead. Actually does give you options. Short pad. You can do the high pad. You can go ahead and try to take high ground if you're able to hold on to it towards the end game. And this could be the first
やばいよ。最初のサージで197ってやばいでしょ。200ぐらい当たらないといけないってことか。やばいな。
Now they did win a game, but that's not enough to stay in. You have to continue to perform, and maybe. Just maybe that long-awaited break has allowed other teams to figure it out. Hit that drawing board. They're slowly slipping down now. 91 below here, but the longer they wait, the more likely enemies are to set up. So they have to get going. Off to the air vent they go. Can they get there in time? He misses it just slightly, but Joe fights back. And he doesn't miss. How quick was the setup there? Nicely done. That little bit of defense is something. Sometimes all you need to go in and buy you some time.
But they're still 46 below the damage threshold.
あと3マッチ今日は。
A lot more room to cover as well, but luckily for them, they have the chili chug splashes. They have the mighty monument.
Oh no!
As an elimination,
wow!
Clean that one up and get the spoils after that falls all together. Moraine and Vico really trying to show up this game, and you talked about it during that break. How stacked that top of the leaderboard actually is.
And it looks like they were waiting around just a little too long. They try to bait out the vault, and instead they get punished. And now Zagu is by himself. The shield bubble is going to buy him some time, but it's only a matter of time. If he stays there, yes, they're just going to 2v1 him. He goes up for high ground, and he's trying to get on out of here. Vico and Moran decide better. They say, all right, I'm okay with that. With Swag and Pablo here, let's just get to the new storm. Let's get safe, and that's what they do first. But it is not looking good for our first place team now.
Yeah, so many teams just barely on the threshold, either above or below, as Runa and Peppo trying to keep things going. They are
ペポたち映った。
44 below the damage threshold.
ペポ
who've also had their own struggles when it comes to Storm Surge. This could be a good fight for both.
Nice!
A huge shot coming out of Peppo. Beacon and Nas, they have their backs up against the wall, trying to get out alive, but the through. Vidil gets elimination as well. Everybody in this fight is under siege. Against the wall, takes them both down.
And EU takes down Asia in a 2v2 head-to-head with no interference in the distance. Chapix cleans things up. Z, Andy, and Joe are Game 3 winners, and now Chapix and Tayson continue to play upset. Let's just take a look at the highlight. How did it all go down? He walks up. Man, this is why Chapix is so good. This is what he did in the World Cup. This is what he's doing here now. And, ooh, you can see the pain. That was a tough one.
Yeah, that's definitely tough here. But luckily for them, they did get that victory royale. They're at the top side of the leaderboard. One bad game does not decide your future. As Queasy and Vino under siege yet again. Just a sliver of HP. Wonders, but they have 10 slashes. Vino has to try to get him out. That means some of the pressure with the builds. But shots coming in from the distance. Luckily for them, it's another team that is struggling to surge. So they're not the sole focus of the lobby just yet.
Now this is insane. First place has already lost a teammate. Now Vino and Queasy who are in second. Just points behind are so hurt here, and the Surge is continuing. They will have to take this fight. That's not an easy duo, and that one isn't either. This is looking very, very tough now for Queasy and Vino.
As Merrim gets knocked down again to Eddie.
ミリムを起こしたし、ザゴ。
Consistency being the key. 44 below the damage threshold. Commandment and Avery become the targets to Queasy and Vino, but how long can they last? Just only a few ticks away. The short pad coming through. They get the damage, but isn't going to be enough to go above the damage threshold. Yo, it is not, but it is finally at the tail end. Barely going to be enough. Launchpad going out. They're going to live Monster to fight another day.
How did Queasy survive that with 1 HP, and now he gets to fight back just a little bit here? Can he find anything? Was there something?
2 HP や。
They should know better. This is their landing spot. This is their home territory, and they're just going to go ahead and look for scraps now. And just like that, they knew what they left behind, and they are going to be back in this game.
やばい。
Some of the biggest brains in Fortnite to kind of remember something like that. That is outside of the box thinking, but the Storm Surge has not left them just yet. 生き残ってるけど HP がもう終わってる。Commandment and Avery, I don't know how they made it out alive either, but they're still doing a good job this time around. 187 above the damage threshold. Let's see what they can do when it's not going to be a worry.
Let's not forget, these are our previous NA East champions, but hold up, Vino.
Whoa.
But no, he gets taken out and Queasy. And he falls too. And all of a sudden, Vino and Queasy are down. And Zagu is there to play in the mess here. He is putting his own two thoughts into the battle. He has not given up. And this is an opportunity now. Look at Zago's HP. He is so hurt there. Off to the side. And now he turns and burns. He's like, yeah, I believe it's you, Avery. I believe it's you, Commandment. You guys can have it. But it's Savage.
Yeah, and that's huge for the loot for Savage and iDrop, because now they can kind of pick and choose. You see, he still has some bandages there, so he's trying to look for something else to maybe trade it off. But with 2 launch pads, the zone right now is not going to be a worry at all, especially since Commandment and Avery are already making their rotation outward. But another team landing towards Cloudy combos, Malabuka and Murstache.
So let's think about this, right? 3rd place is out. Joe and Zandy are out. That's going to allow things to get really competitive at the top. But now that we see Queasy and Vino crossed out as well, it is that much closer here. Let's take a look at these quick highlights here. How are they so far ahead of the Surge? Well, there you go.
What?
You ask and you receive. Jamper just gets clotheslined without
it almost looks like they were thinking the same thing. Let me knock on this door, take this piece away, but Jamper was just a little bit too slow to the punch. Throws Rifty, trying to fly high through the sky. Tripper and Thomas. It's like target practice for them as Macwood does go down to high zone. There goes the leaderboard, 5th through 9th. Look how stacked it is. Only 8 points separating those teams.
And remember, Joe and Andy are down and out.
Zago 生き残ってる。
Zagu has done
Zago がおる。
Impressive. 46 damage above the Surge. All he has to do is out-survive 2 players.
Zago 生き残ってんだけど。
It would not be possible, but he has found
いやマジで順位伸ばせばいける。
and he is still getting that much more lucky. Sometimes all it takes is a little bit of luck. And look at the heals come back to reward him here. He's gonna hold on and continue to earn.
いやでも一人はきつそうやけどな。ってサージがやばいもん。
1V2 クラッチしたらもう神だよ。
これやばい。ここのセッティと神っていうこの2人やばい。
強いよ。
セッティがやばい。セッティがめちゃくちゃ強い。いやーこの古参チームに勝ってほしいんだよな。クリックスとデューク。どうし。
Disparity, the point difference between Clicks and Duke there, and first place, 47 points separate 20th.
でもあんま差が開いてないんよな。1位と10位の差が。だって1回終盤まで残れば巻き返せるしな。
Undoubtedly, you are very much right back into this game if you can just get one.
Yeah, mindset. and handling this pressure is going to be huge because it's easy. You know, 12 games, being in a stage like this, you go down early, it starts to sink in that doubt. It's easy to believe in that doubt, but right now, you guys are the best of the best on that stage. You need to snap yourselves out of it and really pick it back up because this is game 4 out of 12. You have every chance in the world to make a comeback.
Ju and Yusra have been contested on the top into the hands of OCE, Alex and Bailey. We have seen what they have managed to do all day. They are an exceptional duo. And finally now, Yusri and Ju get to show us what they are made of. They are playing for high ground, but they're below the surge. They're going to have to take a box fight. The wall's his, but not quick enough on the edit there. And he backs off. What do you do in this situation? Do you look around or take a box fight is the question.
あ、お前そっか。今焦るとのところ見た。
Don't worry, Monster. I got you. You ask a question, I'll definitely give you an answer in a moment. 48 above
スイッチ見たらスイッチ同じやし、スピード。
スイッチで見るか。
スイッチの公式の方は同じだよ。普通にスピードが。めちゃくちゃ画質がいい、スイッチ。
もう今止まったし。お前に一回ちょっと出てくるわ。
ザコはなんでこんな生き残ってんだよ。
That consistency paying off right now as we know it should. Sentin and Cold are just proving that they are so good at Fortnite. No matter what the setting is, online or in person.
And the team, after that first game, is finally finding their rhythm. 251 above the damage threshold. 3 eliminations so far. 3 Chili's truck splashes onto Merstash. So you got to imagine on the other side, probably having some rotation as well. But Scented and Cold right now trying to find a way to stabilize. 29 below the damage threshold. Luckily for them, though, that's not too much. That's a shot, but the same thing happens to them. They're under pressure. 19 HP, trying to get the splashes off, but now
これどんまやな。
And it looks like Acorn and Edgy were just waiting for that wall to open up, and there it is. Acorn is the one who finds Cold, and Sentin is now left to do it by himself, but he has been here before. That is where he feels most comfortable. They have so much catching up to do. They have already picked up 5 elims. This is exactly the type of pacing they want to be on coming into an end game. Jamie and Seti are here in the mid ground. P18 and Kitos are there as well. This is one of the most dangerous layers that we have seen, and it's players who are fighting to get that #1 spot.
But Scented, he was able to take down Thor, but he needs that siphon to come through, and it goes in just in the nick of time. Trying to stay alive. Chili Chuck Splash to try to go ahead and gain the speed to get to the outside zone. Now Nas is down. You got to thank Commandment Avery for that one. So now Pink is left as a solo. What can he do with only 3 builds to his name?
And they take high ground again. In this game here, 4 elims now. Things are really starting to get interesting for NA East. Avery says, come down, let's go to the low ground and wait for him to start taking the lead here. Now usually, the Mr. Commandment says, trust in me. I have this high ground unlocked. Meet me at the top.
Yep, for one of the most insane end game finishes for the FNCS Chapter 3 Season 3 Championship. They're looking to do it here again in this game as Malapuka's by himself. He ends up into the box, takes another player out, a huge siphon and refresh to come through just in the nick of time. That was Ed from Brazil who went down, but he's doing a good job. Malapuka immediately beelining to the front side of zone.
And back to Pink here. Look at Pink's perspective. He's on that low with 7 elims. He has not stopped picking up. Malapuka continues to fight though. Two streaks gonna fall there, and a quick elim. Someone's behind him though. Now he turns around, and it's just enemy territory everywhere. Which way are you gonna go, son? That's the zone. Larson and Smite are still they do the most work, but no, it's not enough. They get wiped up and taken out.
サベージ来てる。サベージ。セッチーがやばい。暴れてる。Oh my god. Oh! 勝ったんだけど今の。セッティ来てる。は？おかしいおかしいおかしい。
on this low ground. Another huge consistent game for SETI is
セ
everything
ッティ
here.
やばい。
5 duos left, and about maybe 3 of them are full duos right now. And Savage loses another one. He's a solo. He's trying to take down the NA West team. He takes down Yumi. Huge siphon coming through. Mr. Savage does it.
いけサベージ。
You have to love the move in here.
サベージ。
Another one.
ほうほうほうほう。
SETI might just be next. Savage is on fire. Let's see it. High ground is still NA East. 1v1v2. Commandment and Avery have everything working for them as Savage is looking to do so much work. But SETI says, hold on.
サベージがうまい。
A chance here. He needs to pick and choose this wisely. Do you go for 2 elims on the low ground or a chance at first? And down goes Savage.
えぐい。セッティやばい。
And it's a great game for Commandment and
お
Avery.
ー。
Huge victory royale and a huge boost for the NA East
で
champions
で
in
い。
Chapter 3, Season 3. Commandment and Avery switched up their games after halftime, and it pays off
セ
big.
ッティやべえって。
You have to love that little moment where the players get to hit the
あれ
to see it.
バムさんどこ行った
They have managed to put up a huge win and represent. And again, the story goes now. 2 for EU, 2 wins for NA East. It's just back and forth, showing us how close the competition really is.
And you're seeing the polar opposite of what happens to some of these teams. But let's go ahead and listen to them as Kelly is going to dig deep to figure out how they did it.
Thank you so much, Jacob. Clearly, you guys have made a great change. What exactly have you done differently in Game 4?
We just looked for height way more than like game 1, 2, 3, and like we just landed on it and like won the game, bro. I don't know.
So is that going to be the strategy for the next game?
When it's free like that, we're definitely gonna be on higher round.
I mean, you obviously seem to be feeling great right now, man. What's going through your mind?
I don't even know, bro. My hands are tingling.
That is awesome. Everyone make some noise for Commandment and Avery. Let's head on back to the desk.
Thank you so much, Kelly, for checking in with our Victory Royale winners from game number 4, Commandment and Avery. And I'm so thankful they kind of had that moment to be like, yo, my hands are shaking, right? Like, that's what's going on. This pressure is unlike anything. And the moment that these guys took a pop off, you could hear the crowd going absolutely ham. Because this is what we want to see, right? This game was like way more aggressive than anything else we've seen.
It's what you love to see, right? Malibuka.
よいよいよい。
よいよい。
どんな感じ？
セッティがバケモン。
おっと。
何位ぐらい？残り何人か分からんけど、まあ多分残り10人ぐらいおって、セッティ1人やったのに、全部ぶっ殺して、ずっと1人で生き残っちゃった。で、2位まで持ってったかいね。マジでやばい。セッティがやべえ。最後サベージ殺したし、セッティ。もうおかしいもん、今、1位、セッティ。120ポイント。セッティ神120ポイント。あ、5位にまた5位になった。ザコザコザコとザコザコは座った時の
ザコ
座った時の長さ。
でもいけそうよな。
いや全然ある。マジでワンチャンある。
追いつける距離。
セッティがやべえ。セッティができるだけ抑えてくれれば、セッティがちょっと体調不良で一回ぶっ倒れて救急搬送とかされればある。セッティがやべえ。さっきの試合サベージが一番強かったよ。サベージがやばかった一番。
足つきれい。
You know, it sucks.
Switchy.
Like what Duke said, we're leaving terrible loot, and we always have to come back. But you know, good luck to them. And you know, it's pretty close right now.
いやー、おもれー。
points at the top, I think.
Yeah, it's like 10. We're 10 points from each other.
Okay.
But good luck to them. You know.
Looking good. I love that. Great sportsmanship there. Big up.
あと2試合やろ。
Duke, everyone. And heading down this way to coming over to Pink Ananas. What's up, Pink? How are we? I couldn't miss you with the hair. Looks great. How's the competition been thus far as well for you guys?
Anas is playing good, and he's just following me, and I'm playing good. So far it's good.
Lots of good. That's good. And us as well, partnering with Pink in this competition. We just asked Clicks the question as well. For Jonesy, both dropping in the same POI. How have you managed to manage it thus far?
Yeah, I think we're playing pretty well. It's some minor mistakes that we make us die, but like overall it's pretty good.
But you've still got plenty of time to change things up.
Yeah, I think we're gonna keep adapting and just do what it takes.
I think in this competition you have to adapt, being all the regions combined in one lobby. So big up for Anas and Pink, everybody! Back over to Zeke and the gang.
Thank you so much, Adam, and fantastic to hear from these players. I love this set. We can literally just go. I want those players thinking. Let's walk up. Let's ask them questions.
回線が終わってるだろ。
They're still pretty focused, right? Like,
回線はいいはずなんだよ。
But there is definitely like a level of resolve right there where they're like, look, I just want to get into this next game. I want to.
スマホの充電がないとか。18%なんだよ。
それさ、あれじゃない？総力発電、総力モードみたいな。
いや、ただ単に充電してなかった。
いや、セッティやばいっす。あ、18人ぐらいのところから生き残っちゃう、セッティ一人で。じゃあ残り29人、残り29人、16チームぐらいの時からずっとセッティ一人で生き残っちゃう。残り16人でよくセッティ生き残ったな。
Put on a show, right? Seti and Cammy, they're well known. They've accomplished so much, and now, today, take home a title, an international title. It would be something to see, but them having secured the VR game one was surprising, and now seeing them keep up the consistency is not as surprising. We know how strong they are, but we're only 4 games in. There's still so much more to be played out.
That's right, man. 2 games left on the day, and remember, this is kind of setting the pace.
あと2試合。
Tomorrow for another 6 games, and we're going to walk away winners. But it is that time. We are ready for game number 5 here from Raleigh, North Carolina. This is the FNCS Invitational. Thank you so very much, Zeke. There we get to kick things back off.
Game 5. Are you ready?
Calling all the action here.
Yay!
What a set of games we've had so far.
Yeah, this is nothing short than entertainment at its finest.
Right.
I feel like a gladiator calling all the action in an arena. This has just been dreams come true. But right now, game number 5 is about to be underway, and this is where some dreams could become nightmares.
Hopefully no one's dreams get crushed here.
いや、めちゃくちゃ緊張するやろうな。
It is inevitable. At the end, you have to step up. You have to perform. And we've seen so many great performances already, especially when it comes down to this becoming legends duo of Cammy and Seti. Wait for them to represent not only for Poland but the organization. I know my boy Reno is proud sitting back right now as these players are competing at the best of their capabilities. But once again, this northern bus shows us there's going to be trouble for Savage and iDrop.
今ラマないってろ？
ないよ。
不思議なことがあるもんやな。
Be the aggressors first, or just kind of get what they got out of their loot and try to get out. Because right now, it just seemingly time and time again, Mr. Savage and iDrop have the high ground, but waste no time. Muzz and Loot are getting busy, putting damage onto Larson before he can even touch the ground. Baka does it. He does it over. He gets the double.
Baka. Oh my god. やばい。サベージ倒した。武器取り合戦で負けたっちゃう、サベージ。いや、どんまやな。
それは運ゲーやな。
Meanwhile, don't forget, Kondo has the battles there too. Let's take a look here. This time they go for high ground. He beats them to the drop.
わ、M。あ、M。わ、M。全然武器取り合戦じゃないやん。ワンブーツの AM 勝負で勝っちゃう。
Representing for NA West. You didn't think it was possible, but they're putting it up. That's 2 for 2.
And another action going down very early yet again. Cloudy Condos, we haven't seen too much of it right out of the gates, but Chapix is down. Aqua was able to get the knock, and they're hunting. They're hunting for Tayson right now.
Let's see it.
なんか通れないのみたいな。
ペポたちは30何位らしいよ。30ちょい。あ初動落ち多いからな今。あでも全然まだあるよ。ここから伸ばせば全然ある。
And now, little lesson learned, he slows down. This is fabulous for Malibuca and Mustache, though, because now they have options. They can loot up, they can get the resources, everything that they want.
Tayson!
Aqua gets knocked, but Tayson gets taken out. Chapix and Tayson are the second team. EU are the only two teams down out of this game so far. But if you look at the leaderboard, sitting strong in first, Thomas and Trippin close by. Malibuca and Mustache, knowing that that fight just ended.
どこやったっけクリックスかどっかとめっちゃバチバチのところ。さっきからずっと対面してるクリックスとかと。サベージ、でも結構生き残ってるのかな。マジでかわいそう。
Have this slight advantage. The last time it was Looter who fell first and then left it all up to Muzz. It's looking like this might be the same story once again. Looter and Muzz notably not that successful in early game battles versus Larson and Smite as a comparison who have such better odds just historically.
今回こそ勝つのかこのチーム。
Yeah, that was a huge shot landed by Muzz, but in that 2v1 situation, it's easy to kind of stabilize yourself, heal up, and now Muzz is just trying to get out. He's trying to survive, and it's going to be up to Larson and Smite to kind of let him. Do you let him survive? You continue to chase, and right now, they are hot on his heels. They don't want to let these 2 points. They don't want to let that refresh. They don't want to let the elimination slip through, and right now, almost makes magic happen. Smite says, I'll give you a show. Hold this pickaxe, and down goes Muzz. What a way to really assert yourself here. Meanwhile, on the other side, Vico and Marine push up on retake and Novice here. Vico with a quick finish, and then steps 2v1s at the reality tree as well. And
やば俺強すぎるわって言ってるわ。
言ってるよこれは。
They continue all around. Pink and Anas, they're trying to do it yet again, but it's not Clicks, it's not Dukes, it's Peter Bot and Jamper this time around. What are they doing? And they're ready to fight. They're ready to take it to them. And this is what happens when teams over the last couple of games struggling to storm surge on an uncontested drop. They're trying to get active. They're trying to find what damage they can gather. And for Peter Bot and Jamper, it does look like they bit off a little bit more because Pink and Anas have every single advantageous position right now.
Yeah, but Peter Bot, Jamper already picking up big end games. They know how to navigate these early game situations, and more importantly, Peter Bot is just gross when it comes down to head to head. That is
っていう言葉が好きでらしいです。だって向こうから言えばさ、かっこいい文字でしかないもんね。俺らが Z ってかっこいいよねっていうのとあんま変わらんもん。
What more can do? And this is a respectable disengage, right? They come on in and say, "Oh, look, these guys are healthy. I don't know where's Clicks and Duke, maybe. You know, let's get out of here."
Yep,
まあそれはないよな。
それもはないか。
俺らにはまあローマ字ってものがあるしな。
That's Peppo and Runa. And another team coming from the Lighthouse. That could be Pamsto and Fatch. Who knows? Either way, we're going to have a house party in a couple months.
海外ならではのかっこいいやん。
うわー。Toppling over, but there are players in the distance here making it tough for them, ruining their plans.
マジで。日本語ってマジでむずいよな。
むずいよ。
日本語。
はぁ？おい。チートだろ今の。なんでブッシュの中におって倒せん当てれんねん。
たまにバグるときあるよな。
近くいるなペポがおるよ。ここら辺の近く。
今戦ってるやつペポじゃない？
ペポやね。ボコボコにされてるペポが。ペポが。
peaks the shot on the defensive end are huge for Chimp and Scram because now that put that fear into Peppa and Runa. Do we continue to fight this off?
ペポルナ頑張ってくれ。
It looks like they're even trying to keep their distance.
Yeah, Chimp doing an excellent job defending here, but you know, a refresh would be even better in this instance.
うわー、玉来た。
Then he loses his shield, and they are starting to run out of gas here. Robob and Walks walk up to the wall. They say, hey, Chimp, we thought we forgot about you. But no, too much pressure from Runa and Peppo, and they leave the damage to them. And they go ahead and take this as a small W to Scram. Really left to defend himself here, and he's doing an excellent job.
It's going to be interesting right now because everybody tried to disengage in a moment.
ペポの体勢面白すぎるでしょ。
試合してたよ。
前傾姿勢すぎるでしょ、ペポの体勢。
パッドなのに。暇なら分かれてる。
ルナだ、ル
ナがやってる。
ナイスナイスナイス。行くんじゃない？
いや待って、別のパーティーに絡まれた。
マジペポかわいそう。
あ、いけるいけるいける。
いけるいけるいけるいける。
強い強い強い強い。
いけるいける。いけいけいけいけいけ。
1 HP for Runa. He got the med miss.
1 HP on Runa.
いけるぞ。
全然ある。生き残ってる生き残ってる。お、初動切り抜けた。ナイスナイスナイス。ようやくゲームができると思っちゃうわ、ペポルナ。
消してるやん。
足りんよ、サージが。
これぐらい詰めないと稼げないよな、ワールドカップ。
うわーうわーうわー、かわいそう。えい。
お、あいや。
あいや。
who are sitting up on high ground, you know, hands off the desk, relaxing right now. Just so
あい、もしかして充電切れた？
an exceptional day it has been for them.
なんかスタッフが寄ってたけど。うわ
ー、キル稼げてないぞ。
まあでもこの2つは大丈夫やし、さっきからずっと生き残ってるから、この状況で。大丈夫。俺の気にしてるのはミリムたちやから。ミリムじゃねえわ。ペポルナ。ザゴだし上がってくるもん。
坂みたい。
Coming off a victory royale, zone pulling their way. This is a perfect recipe to take that momentum and bring it on home. So we are watching several teams now literally catch a little bit of that. Hellfire finds Booga and down he goes.
マジか。当てる？当てる？そこ当てるの？そこ当てるの？
物資薄いな。
ね。厳しそう。
ビノっていうの？ベノじゃなくて。
ビノじゃない。ビノって言ってた、多分ビノや。
ベノと思ってた。
マジでさ、セッティ倒してくれ誰か。ガチで怖い。あいつ終盤死なんもん。おお。
ザゴじゃん。
ザゴやるか。
ウィリム一人しかいない。
おっと。
アサルトでやったやつがザゴだよ。
あ、そうやぞ。
やば、93位か。
うわ
アンチ外れてリブートできればいいけどね。
でもさっきミリムリブートされたけど、そのリブートされた後にすぐにぶっ殺されてた。
いや、きついよ、武士ペストでしかないって。
わからん、セッティみたいなプレーできるかもしれない、ミリムは。セッティ対策かもしれんよ。一人で何人も通して生き残るかもしれない。
それ
みたいな。
無理。リゲーに近いからな。できる。うわ
どっちもやべえ。あー、ミリムやれた。でもとりあえずあれ今回120ポイントぐらいいっとけば明日1位ある。全然どうせセッティたちが160ポイントぐらいまでいくから
1ビクロイしたら多分いけるよ。ミリム的な方は。
ペポルナまだ生きてる
？270 above damage threshold, and this is exactly the plays that you have to make, especially on a team that's looming into the distance. Bazor situation, he tries to take a shot, but 2 prime shotguns are better than 1. They take him down in a blink of an eye. Baka trying to carry that momentum from the early game, but only 62 above.
ペポルナマジワンビクロイしてほしい。ワンビクロイ。とりあえずワンビクロイ。
この辺からもう暇になってくるよな。
暇じゃないよ。大体戦ってたから。違うで何チーム戦ってたと思うの。
いや、アジアだったらこのくらいから暇になるよな。
確かにね、アジアは暇になるけど、やっぱ
コールドっているんだ。
で、まあまあうまいからね、コールド。
Mertas barely holds on and survives in, so no knock there. That could be the difference maker.
Thomas got 2 on the hen and Vortex, not just 1. You see
あ、ペポルナ生きてる。おりやんおりやん。
Also in the distance. For them, that shield keg was absolutely needed, especially since they're only 67 above the damage threshold.
Oh, but I was just gonna say,
倒してるペポ。クリックス倒した。やばい。クリックス倒してる。
And they are gone with a clean rotate right up the river. That is just a 500 head play. Look at them.
いや、これは盛り上がる。おい、セッティたちやないかい。
遊び心にギア入れてんな。
全開や。でもセッティたち結構辛いよ、辛いよ。
この物資でワンチーム殺せたら、倒せたらいけるよ。い
や、セッティありえるから。だってセッティや。
こんな立てんだ。今5段4段ぐらい立ててたよ。
Clown finally goes down. Huge siphon for Peterbot. As like I just said, his shield just got dropped. Now you're looking at a short pad from Revscar trying to make it into zone. As soon as Peterbot.
でもさ、ペポルナ残ってるからワンチャンあるんじゃないと。あと前回残ってた時10位まで上がったよ。2人で。めっちゃキルしとったし。だよね。左遷管理うますぎんこいつ。飛ぶ時の左遷管理うますぎん。
うわぁ、よう右から撃たれんかったな。
ペポたち？
いや、さっきの海外で。
ああ、その後ろにペポたちおったよ。
やれあいつ。
おい頼む、マジ。おい、セッティを暴れさせんな。
神がやられた。
いや違うとて、こっちじゃねえっつよ。セッティやつよ、やべえの。
いや、セッティでも武士やばいよ。回復ないから一発でも食らった方がいい。あ、
セッティやられた。
観客の反応おもろいな。あー。
ペポルナたちキルしてる。
乗ってきたか？
乗ってきたか？来たか？ついに。今だって今3キル目ぐらいし。
なんかアジア勢ってなんか後から強いイメージある。お、アリスだ。
アリスたち頑張ってアリス。お前今日活躍ないぞ今。いや本当は
このチームしゃあないよな。だって今日初めて合わせるんで。
そうだよ。歴史がなんか出らんことになって変わりやろこれ。
うん。
ここじゃない？ 2ここけ。ここにっぽいけど。
Top of the leaderboard, stacked like pancakes in a Waffle House right now. As Thomas and Trippin.
負けた時どういう会話するんだろう。英語わからなかったら。
ソーリーしか言わんやろ。
だってさ、英語喋れるのきつくね。
確かにね。
なんかゲーム関連の英語は喋れると思うけど。
対面でどうにかせんといかんってことやろ、さっきのチーム。めっちゃかわいそう。
バンされたんですよ。
なんでやとあれは。
わかんない。
ルナタやってる。4キルイメージこれ。マジであるって。
It's good, but it's not good enough. Potentially here, 6 players are the difference between this surge continuing to stay online and turning off.
すげえやろこのチーム。
わあ、かわいそうこれ。もう張るしかないもんな。あれもうここから。うわあ、これ目の前あるしかないね。
やれると思うけど。
お、やれる。やりそうじゃないそっから。
だって逃げ場所ないよそれ。サージも食らってる。
いけいけいけいけいけ。そういうの行くしかないよ。行かないんだね。そういうもんや。
賢い賢いそっち。
うわ、裏回って。
いけるいける。
うまいうまい。うわでもカウンターがやべえ。
ミニコトへナイスナイスナイスナイスミニコ。引け引け引け引け引け引け引け引け引け。収穫ミニポです。ミニポと資材。あとサージ。
全然いい全然いい。ペポ立ち打ってって、いや多分ここが1位やっちゃろうね今。うわここだ1位。AST なんこれなんていうところ。わからんけど。うわキングがキルし始めた。怖え。
ルナペポいい位置じゃないな。ヘイトが変わんなそう。ハイグラからの。
そうなんや。見えん。でも見えん。は？エム良すぎだろこいつ。エム良すぎでしょ。おお。
そういうの拾わないんだ。
does not stand a chance if they decide to focus together, but it's more important for them to maintain.
もう人数の減りが早い。
あ、でもルナペポまだ大丈夫そうだけどね。目の前にルナペポ。これ狙ってねこいつら。こいつら狙ってね。
This is literally going to be a roller coaster ride of an end game, and if you don't have a launch pad, if you don't have chrome splashes,
いやルナペポここから上がってくるかな。マジで上がってほしい。
これびっくりした。多分乗って上がれるよ。
まだ2ビクロイおらんからな。1ビクロイ。あ、ルナやられた。ペポはまだか。あ、ペポ倒してる。
ペポやってる。
うわうわ、
いいとこだな。
うわ、いいとこ持ってった。
This could be a moment for him to remember for the rest of his days if he can continue to clutch up big like that as Joe and Z Andy trying to be the first team on the day to win 2 victory royales.
And Smite and Larson are still in the game.
クソアンチやん。クソアンチすぎるでしょ。
ハイグラッパか有利。
ハイグラって
僕初ぞ多分。初とあそこハイグラのチーム。誰がハイグラ行け。面白いことしろ。
ビヨンビヨンって登ってって。どうするここからまた下りやったら。地獄やし。下りっぽくね。あ、違う、上りだ。下りじゃね。
下って上り。
うわ
あ
うわやばい。
下って登ってるからねこの人たち。
ペポまだ生きてる？
なんでジャンプ起きない？
あー、ペポやられた。
うわい。
うまっ。俺なら絶対今正面のところから開けてる。
いや、ここ勝つよね。
うわーきつい。うわーきつい。なんで？めっちゃ盛り上がってる。めちゃくちゃの盛り上がってるやん会場。
セテットのところに行けるぞ多分。ワンチャン。
やばい、ここが次上がるのか。うわー、うめえみんな。ルナだって結構だって5キルしょったよ最低でも。
えぐいな。
5キルはしてるから。
うわーい。
うわ、うまっ。
おー。うわ、資材ない。絶対こういったら有利だもん。打つだけの仕事。
いいやろここ。ナイス。で、初めての体験じゃない？アジア勢は回復勝負がないっていう。
いや、アジアも回復勝負ないで。
あ、ないっちゃ今。
回復勝負ができない環境になって。
あ、そうやと。
多分最終安定が5分とかだ。
ゆっくりやっちゃ
う。マジで縮むのが遅い。
いやー、おもろいな世界大会。あと1試合。じゃあマジで日本でワンビクロイ。ワンビクロイしてくれ。
Fantastic work there. Eliminations, an extraordinary end to game number 5.
Yeah.
What else is there to say? What else is there to say? I mean, the competition has been great to you guys today. You've had unbelievable work thus far. Scored a lot of points in as well.
A lot, to be fair. It's amazing, like the
あ、
atmosphere
そうだね。俺やっぱ肉が好きだからね。
And we saw as well, you know, we saw that obviously the storm moved up mountains, down again. How
こいつは
integral is resource material management in situations like that?
あ、野菜じゃねえぞ、お前。野菜は美味しいんだぞ、お前。ピーマンとかが特に美味しいぞ。
こいつ一人二役やってんの？
いや、もう、20人かかやから、こいつ。
すごいな。
本当ごめんなさい。魚とか俺マジで好きなんだよ。特にマグロとか本当。日本とかマジで魚とか寿司とかあるからマジで美味しそうなんだよね、あれ見てて。マジで何の話しようか分からんよ。
Cool, calm, collected, and memes. That is also how I live my life.
こんな近くでやってんの？
Queasy and Vino, we've watched them come so close.
誰も見てなかったやん、こいつら。
Taking high grounds at those pivotal moments, but it hasn't quite lined up.
こいつの服装ハワイやん。
And now that it does, it's not even just the victory royale.
この人たちずっと前からおるよ。ワールドカップの頃からおる。
ねえ、なんか見たことある顔だもん。
第1回のワールドカップの頃からずっと。エイム良すぎ、エイム良すぎ。洗礼されすぎやろ、エイム。
これ当てづらいのにな。
いやー、やばいな。ザゴーたちが落ちてきた。最後の最終マッチでザゴーたちが5位ぐらいまで上がってくれば。アリスがワイって言っちゃった。そうやん。アリスいつの間にやられた？全然見てなかったですけど。
Absolutely. We also have Kelly, who is standing by to chat with some of our players. Kelly, over to you.
Joining me right now, I am with Thomas and Tripper, the team that is currently in second place on our leaderboard right now. How are you feeling about that?
I'm feeling really good. We just need to keep on going, being consistent, and we'll make it.
Yeah, obviously consistency is the name of the game right now. You guys had a great game 5, but how do you make that into a VR?
I don't know, like, we played mid ground most of the game. I think we should either commit it to high ground or low ground to win the game, but we're just playing for consistency, so it doesn't really matter.
もう確かに今現在1位。
Good luck in the game 6. Guys, let's head on back to the desk.
Thank you so
どこだ？
much, Kelly. Shout out to Thomas HG and Tripper, and they are currently
おらんね。
あれいる？
おらん。多分落ちてるわ。10何位じゃない？
あ、これあれじゃん。あれじゃないの？
じゃあこれ
前回の試合のポイントじゃない。
違う、これ順位普通の
順位？
うん、普通の順位。
We're setting ourselves up for tomorrow, right? And Thomas HG and Tripperin, they're looking real good.
I mean, they're looking
more than good.
そうよ、だってこの人たちもね、ザゴー大好きでね、ずっとザゴーとミリムの話しかせんの。
そうなん？
そう。めちゃくちゃザゴーとミリムの話する。時々ペポが出てくるから、ペポルナが。
Yeah, and these are two very, very talented solo players. For those that don't know the region very well, of course, Trippin and Thomas.
めっちゃ大絶賛やったよ。ザゴーたちのあれプレー。
Solo clutch from both of them in the Elite Cups, in the Cash Cups leading before that, and they are just a dynamic duo when things go well. Sometimes things can be a little bit difficult for them when they do get split up. You know, they have to rely on the other person. We've seen that a little bit throughout the Elite Cups this season, but they're bringing it all together now, and oh boy, is it looking good.
I also want to talk about Smite and Larson. This is a duo coming from NA East, right? And they have 5 total FNCS Finals appearances together now. It's a lot, but it's also the fewest out of any NA East duo competing here today. But that is not showing because even though they have the fewest FNCS Finals appearances, they're in the top 3 right now in this event.
That's right. Everyone currently is looking, right, to just try and say, okay, look, the first 6 games, just want a strong footing into those next 6 games tomorrow. I guarantee you there's strategies, little things that these players are holding on to for those last 6 games. I do want to turn our attention back to the standings. We continue to kind of go top to bottom here, Mini Minor. Obviously, Queasy and Vino, massive, right? To now jump up into first place.
全然合格ライン行ってたからな。
If it
アリ
happens
スタチ
again,
まあないんだ
we
よ
could be in trouble. We could be in trouble, and I think the rest of the lobby could be in trouble as well because you
いや
don't
でも
want
この
Queasy
ラ
and
スト
Vino
1試合でマジで
playing
決ま
as
る
good as they are. It all sort of
もしかすると初動で上位10チーム全部落ちるかもしれん。
they can definitely make a push for this.
いや、それはないやろ。
Kelly, you are standing by with some more players. Let's hear
だっ
it.
て安定してるとこは安定してるもん。
Joined here by Ed and
セッティのところは多分ね、あれ大丈夫です。 あそこが落ちるわけがない。
Ed, I know that you recently got announced that you are represented by Team Liquid. How are you feeling about that?
Como você está se sentindo que você está sendo representado pelo time Liquid?
Eu me sinto incrível porque é time que eu sempre quis entrar e eu me
ブラ
sinto
ジル語
muito
で
realizado de
なんて
estar
言うか
na
本当に分からんじゃね
I'm really excited to be in this team and I always dreamed of being in it, so I'm really excited about it.
And I'm
Bara,
sure
bara.
we're proud of you. Thank you so much. And then, of course, King, you've been around since the World Cup days. What is it like to be back here on the stage?
¿Cómo te sientes estar de vuelta?
Português ou espanhol? Ok. Na verdade, uma
Parece
experiência
mesmo
incrível.
na-
Eu não tinha faz, sei lá, uns 3 anos quase. E voltar a jogar lá em uma experiência muito boa e vamos tentar dar o melhor.
I'm really incredibly excited to be here. I mean, it's been about 3 years and I'm excited to be back.
I mean, I know that Argentina and Brazil are proud of you guys right now. Thank you for joining me with a quick interview. And let's head on back to the desk.
い
マ
や
ップで
I don't know if you guys can pick up the hype coming
本
through
場の
these
人
mics
は
from,
普通な感じかもしれないけどさ、俺らから聞くとマジで早口だからさ、なんて言ってるかわかんないもんな。
これな。
多分海外の人からも俺らが言ってること早口に聞こえるんだろうな。
まあね。いや、セッティ怖え。てかまだ上がおるじゃん。え？キルポイントおかしくない？一人。25ってな。
One of the funniest things I think I've ever seen, but then can't transition that because of the shambles positioning. So what has kind of been
キル3ポイント、2ポイント、1ポイント。
わからん。あ、でもこれあれだよ。これ2ポイント。1キル2ポイントだったはず。でも倒した数はあれよ。だからザゴーたちは15試合で13倒してるから、まあ1試合、まあ大体2、3、2とか3とかっていうぐらいでしょ。でもザゴーたちの一番最初の試合見てほしい。てか1試合目がアジア勢マジ光っとった。
But yeah, they were looking strong. But of course, when you have that shield level, you can't shoot out as well. So they were lacking on the surge tags in that end game. And unfortunately, they didn't quite have the answers. They got a little bit desperate. Things didn't work out too well. Seti, I was hoping that he would solo clutch, but it wouldn't quite happen.
That's right, and it's okay, right? It's fine. We're still sitting in top 5. Everything is okay. We've got one game left to go. With a single game left, what are some adaptations we're hoping to see? Because remember, this is it for the day, and then we have all night to VOD review. We go back to the hotel, we try and get more games in, we talk to our coaches, our teammates, etc., and come back stronger tomorrow.
Look, you said it yourself, right? It's one game, but it's really 7 games left. This is the last game of the day, and 6 more will be played out tomorrow. This last match is just about doing it the best you can, and when you're really going to be reviewing, studying, seeing how things change up, it's going to be overnight.
違う違う開催地よ開催地。こういうさ、こういう会場とかじゃなくてさ、ドームやったわ。広い観客がバカみたいに入れる。で中央に選手やったわ。変わったよね。
on the team that were landing there, and they're switching things up.
バスケの会場みたいな。
Thinking, you know what? Things aren't quite working out at Tilted. As we know, it's a bit busy. So let's switch things up. Let's go to the reality tree.
野球みたいなね。野球の会場の真ん中がゲームしてるバージョン。
Look at them. Look at the focus. They're waving to the camera, which we love and appreciate. But they are lasered in. They're thinking to themselves. They understand.
めっちゃ幼いやん、右の子。
What are things we need to do?
何歳あれ？
What do we need to just kind of say? Look, this is it. We left our mark, and we can walk away happy. I think for me, Zago and Mara, like this team that we saw pop off, they've kind of gone a little bit radio silent. What do we think's happening here?
I mean, we've seen them. They've having a bit of trouble doing
enough damage or even staying close
全員
together.
にさ、高級サブモニターあるけど。
And the other is Zagu was left alone.
35億。
Duo partner get eliminated, so I'm not sure if it's because they're not playing together enough, if rotates have changed from their opponents and it's cutting them off while they're trying to get to zone. There's a lot of possibilities, but they really have to focus on seeing what went wrong after those initial matches and see what they can change going into day 2.
They were trying,
でもさっき映ったやん、あいつが。
solid rotation up towards that rift area. They had
今
just
よ
the best
このこれ
position.
これこれで
You mentioned Takata, they were a little bit split, right? They didn't quite execute it to perfection. Of course, Queasy and Veno, they decided, you know what, let's just take them out. We'll take this position, and ultimately that's what won them the game. But it's just a little bit of confidence, maybe a little bit dropping potentially with this duo. We saw it early on. The aggression was what made them so impressive.
Peppo Luna.
That set them apart from the rest of the teams here, and that were really
髪型セットせんでいいで、お前ちっちゃいから。
their confidence in fighting. Maybe now they're thinking, actually, maybe we need to tone it down a little bit. When in fact, keep it up. You know, keep up that aggression because if you're toning it down,
どっちが、あ、ルナが大きい、ペポが大きいとか、ルナがちっちゃいとき。
Guys, I want to see more of their aggression.
それは知らない。
なんかどっちがでかくてどっちがちっちゃかったっていう。でもまあ中学生やもんな。
You watch on the high ground, you're like, okay, Queasy's up there. If there's one person up there, they're tarping, they're not doing anything, and then suddenly there's someone knocking on your wall, like, hi, it's me, Vino. I'm just gonna pick up both of you. They are capable of this, so I'm not ready to count them out. I think, like you're saying, there's maybe just a couple things to shore up, and then they're gonna get right back to it, right? Is there anybody else you guys are seeing? Maybe I want to see more of this duo. I want to see more of that duo.
Look, I was looking at the birthday boy, right? Mr. Savage, who had an incredible solo clutch in a late game, but directly after got taken off out of the spawn, right? Baka and On1 eliminated both players there, but I kind of saw the flames in his eyes, right? Mr. Savage was getting ready. He was feeling good, and I'm hoping that he can come out on top in one of these next early games and show what he's really made of.
Yeah, he's got that experience right in past events, and you can sort of see it in the swagger, the way he plays. Like, you know what? I've been here before. It's cool.
僕が前回の優勝トロフィー持ってくればよかったのね。
And it's reflecting his gameplay as well. He is really taking the
あ、そのアクアたちはあれやろ。前回優勝したから招待されたじゃないの。そうだな。だって前回アクアたちやったわ。1位が。
ああ。
で、僕はね、それが1位やったから。
In case you didn't know, Epic Will, a 6-time FNCS champion, paired up with Reed, who's on controller, representing the controller gang. We have this duo has actually been pretty quiet, right?
少しでも日本の枠が多くなればいいと思っています。
Overall, and a slower meta.
これで
And now, when we're trying to
日
get
本
way
人
more
すげえやん
aggressive,
って
feels like Reed and
な
Epic
る
Will maybe
じゃな
need
い。
to kick it up too.
なるね。
I mean, I'm wondering what's happening because I was watching this duo practice, right? In the player lounge, they were prepping themselves, getting ready.
まあこの後寝る。
And in the scrims, right, in the practice matches, they were
あ、寝らん。
3, 4, even 5 elims in the mid game before the late game even
俺は寝らん
started.
よ。
They were playing aggressive and they were doing it right against the opponents they're competing against today. So I'm wondering what happened. But we'll have to see if they adapt.
まあ後で話すわ。俺が3時まで何してたのか。
ああ、いいよ。
You have indeed here, Zeke, but I am joined by the one and only Cease, everybody! Cease, it is. We've talked so much about it in the past, you know,
誰
俺。
俺。
これお前。
俺。
これ俺。
お前か。じゃあ話してよ。
英語うまいやろ。英語うまいやろ。
お前なんで今ここにおると。
これあれだよ、録画だよ。
ワイホたちはさ、現地にちょっと。
行ってないやろ。
行っちょじ、ワイルドホーク、メイシー、リアン、キャプテン翔太、あと一人、誰？今井さんやったわ。ね、今井さんさ、下のチャックあいつっちゃけど。
なんでもう本当や。
しょうがない人やな、本当に。今井さん。なんで今井さん下のチャックあいちょっと。
社会の窓が開いてる。
男の大事な部分が開いてる。
The coolest people I think I've ever met. Got to hang out with him a couple times over media day. Legitimately one of the coolest people. So thankful that he could be here. I want to set the stage here for us. Once again, we take a look at the top 10 coming into this game. Please don't try to freak out. Your Brazilian team in 10th place.
3回目やね。
Kitos right now sitting on a tiebreaker.
2手こずって。
Look, I want to talk about this duo, Bejatin Kitos. They have 25 FNCS finals appearances. PH Zin alone has 4 FNCS championships and won for a total of 5 together.
一回どっかでバケモンになればすぐ上がる。
全員その力を持てるはずだからね。
そう。多分次のトップ10はあれだ。110ポイントとか20ポイントぐらい。僕120ポイントぐらいまでいけば次の予入れる。でもアジアで1回10位以内入ってほしい。
最初アジア勢がインタビューされたら翻訳しているってことか。
俺やる。どうするか。どうするルナペポが急に英語で話し出したらびっくりするけど話せるとみたいな。
ルナに関しては中学生やろ。
Look, but if he's able to keep getting second places and it's able to get them that trophy, I think it's okay, right? As long as you're able to make your way up the leaderboard, it's what you want to see.
なんか左ワイルドホークに似てる髪型だけ。
確かに。
Y'all need to make some noise because this is the last game here of the day. This is game number 6 of the FNCS Invitational. Let's run it one more time. Here we go. Game number 6 is just moments away and we get to close out this crazy day 1.
Yeah, and you're already seeing from game number 1 all the way till here, it is action-packed, and that action continues to improve, and it continues to get better each and every game that we watch.
That's right, and
Fortnite
is at its best when we get to see everyone go head-to-head from all of our favorite regions. But listen up. There is only one more round in front of us, which means there's no time to lose out now if you want to be set up for day 2.
Yeah, and honestly, if you didn't necessarily have the best day, don't worry, because game number 6 is about to start. And if you are at the bottom half of the leaderboard, it's not always how you finish. Or it's not always how you start, it's how you finish. And a lot of these teams, we can finish strong.
相方勝たせてあげろよ。
1試合目サベージがキルした時バースデーボーイで言ってたもん。バースデーボーイって言ってた。ハッピーバースデーって言ってた。さあ、今日のラストマッチ。
すごいことになってんな。マッチ。
ね、めっちゃ変わってる。今度感動。
これ映したいかんとこ映してる。あれワンチャン入れなかった人いるみたいな。
じゃない。やり直しやろ。ほら、One more game after day. One more game after day? 嘘つくな。
That is impressive. That means Queasy and VRs go together in finals like peanut butter and jelly, spaghetti and meatballs. They are a duo. So you better watch out, Vino.
Not only that, Vino was
なんかみんな使ってる気のせいか。ヘッドセットだけみんな使ってるの同じや。
だってこれ全部大会が全部したやつやろ。やばい。ねえ。あ、びっくりした。めっちゃピックアップされた口の開いた人をバッて止められた。びっくりした今。
Now, if you're just tuning in, welcome. This is the FNCS Invitational. You've missed a lot, but hey, we're happy you're here now, and there's a lot to talk about. Starting with Queasy and Vino, these guys have been absolutely running the EU region as of late. And now, after winning that last game, 11 eliminations, they are sitting pretty in first place.
I mean, they were the first duo
to break the
record at this tournament, right? Previously being 8 eliminations, but now 11 for this duo. I mean, they're playing very well.
Vino. Queasy and Vino, incredible. Well, let's talk about Vino, right?
Yes.
How good is this guy, right? We got 17
何これ17キル
キル
17キルえぐ
今日だけ17キルショットこの人一人でえぐ怖っ5932ダメージだって今日合計トータルが
いや知らんしダメージは知らんし
He's helping them out so much, and when you have a high ground playstyle like they do, he's really putting on a show.
Yeah, and we've watched a lot of the moments, right, where again it's like Vino just says, "Oh, you need me to go eliminate a threat." Yeah, man, I'm down. Let me just hop down there, get a bunch of refreshes, and bring all the stuff back, and then we're ready to go again. But I think Vino has actually shown quite a bit of. He's as a player, right?
なんかやりたくなるよな。
Vino first hit the scene. He was just this aggressive player. Like, I want a W key every single person in my face. But now he understands, like, okay, this may not be the moment, but when that moment arrives, I promise you I will be knocking on your wall.
キーボードとマウスの位置近ない。
近いね。
絶対当たる。当たる。
Any of these other duos are going to be able to contest the high ground as much as they have been doing, especially in day 2 with more time to adapt, right? We have duos like Alex and Bailey from OCE. I mean, at one point, I believe they had on height in their name, right? Because of how much they like going for the high ground. So I'd like to see some more teams up there going for the clouds and seeing what they can really do.
ハイライトしか映してくんない。
His progression of play. I think his overall playstyle has developed so much, but it's also he used to have his name as Tundra IGL, so he's not necessarily taking on the IGL role in this duo, but he has the brain to take it.
Another duo sitting here in your top 10. It's Thomas HD and it's Tripper and Thomas HD. For those of you that have not followed the EU scene, if there is a sniper in the game, you might as well just rename that sniper to Thomas HD Sniper, because this guy does not miss, and if there's a sniper in his hands, he will find every single angle, even if it's a pixel on the screen, you're gonna take max damage.
And it shows. He has the most damage dealt out of any player here today, and if there were snipers in competitive currently, I'm sure he'd not only have the most damage, but also the most elims with those headshot snipes. We'd like to see him yet.
Yeah, it's interesting, because of course, Thomas HD is widely regarded as the best sniper, and we got a chance to talk to him. Me and Vivid, we were behind the scenes and we spoke to him. We were like, Thomas, are you sad about the removal of sniper? You think it's bad, but he was like, no, I love it. I think it's great. So he's adapting his playstyle. Not only is he incredibly good with snipers, also when they're not in the game, it enables them to get so many more surge tags. Of course, you can overpeak. You don't have to worry about getting that 200 damage to the head because you can overpeak. Now they're getting the surge tags early on. They're getting the mid-game rotations perfectly on point, and they're playing the mid-ground layers as well. They just bounce off each other so well.
And I'm curious to see what they're thinking about now, right? Being in that top 3 spot with just Queasy and Vino right above them,
誰が楽しいねん、顔なんか映して。絶対あかんか。
大画面で固まんなって。顔をめちゃくちゃピックした状態で固まるの本当にやめてほしい。
You pair him up with Tripper, who's just mechanically insane. I mean, we've watched him shut down Malabuka, right? When he's in situations where he's by himself, he still finds points. He finds high placement. So it's cool to see these guys finally come together. They've been doing for like 3 seasons, 4 seasons since the beginning. I don't even know at this point.
I mean, that's another interesting fact to bring up, right? There's a lot of duos here that have been competing together. They're like brothers, right? They're like companions. And then we have other newly formed duos, right? King and Ed, first tournament competing together, and they kind of have that synergy disadvantage, right, that some of these other duos might have.
Yeah, it's definitely true, but it's not showing, of course. We can see them popping off every single time, particularly that Ed 1v2 clutch that we saw earlier on. I know the guys at the back there really liked that one. They were cheering a lot.
真剣に聞いたけど、マジで何言ってるかわかんない。今マジで真剣に聞いたけど。
We don't want to leave anyone behind. We want to make sure everyone is here, ready to go. You can see it on their screens. They're prepared. And I just got to say, it's been an honor and a pleasure to be here with this amazing crowd here at the Raleigh Convention Center. You guys are just losing your minds, and that's what I love to see. That's right, that's right. We have 1 game left to go. And guess what? I'm getting word. It is that time. Game number 6 of the FNCS Invitational starts right now. Let's do it one more time here in Raleigh, North Carolina.
One more time.
It is game 6 of the FNCS Invitational. Jacob, we get to close out day 1 soon.
And this is going to be a huge
何時間配信してる
4時スタート、4時半ぐらいスタートやから、
5時ぐらいか、5時間ぐらいか。
5時間ぐらいじゃない。
やるやん。俺明日するかわからんのに。できんよな。大丈夫、普段頑張ってるから。普段頑張ってるから俺。
確かにいつ作ったの。
確かに。
さあ。
Honestly, interesting enough, neither of them involved these two teams going at it off spawn.
Not only that, the coast has two teams as well, so there's so much going on in this area. We've seen it play out.
やっぱ鉄集めるよな、みんな最初。
Take at Clicks and Duke not necessarily being right on top of their opponents, thinking enough. They've given each other some space, and this is, you know, honestly, last game vibes are here. It just makes sense. Everyone wants to take it slow and try to play this one out.
That's respect to them too. They know the position that each
of them. こんなとこあんの？本畑。
Take that fight and it doesn't go well for either one of you. That's kind of throwing away that game. So they want to split the loot and try to get more on their path to the center of the zone. But just like very many games before, we're gonna have a little bit of a northern zone, which looks like it bode well for Queasy and Vino yet again.
Can you believe Smite and Larson are in third place, being contested at the Grim Gables?
2秒ぐらい遅延があるな。
こっち。
何？
It looked like it was all over when you viewed the paper and you crunched the numbers, but
今見てる方。このフォートナイトで見てるわ今これ。ちょっと遅延が2秒ぐらいある。本配信と。
And they're rising to the occasion. NA East, best hope right now to close out day number 1 with a top spot. You can see Vico over towards Reality Tree. Lost Bride pretty early. And that was Retake and Novice who also land over here.
Hey, listen, I'm from the Bronx. I'm all about being scrappy.
やっと戦い始めたよ。
ここは毎回戦うかいね。で毎回ここのチームが勝ってるよね。6マッチ中6マッチ多分ここ勝っちゃうし。違うわ、さっき負けたわ、このマッチ。あ、引いた。
なんかもうみんな慎重やな、最終試合だから。知らんけど。
物資が悪かったじゃない。
俺初めてかも、6試合目が初めてかも。全部見るの。
お前全部見てないだろ。
じゃあ6試合が初めてかも、1試合丸々見る。
I think that kind of sits a little bit better for iDrop and Mr. Savage, simply because iDrop knows this POI like the back of his hand. He knows exactly where to get the loot. He knows where a lot of the chests are. He knows every single thing, and he also knows anything to disengage in a lot of these fights. But it does look like the TSM duo, Epic Well, strikes first, taking down Scented.
That's a big elimination right there as well. As Scented and Cold are one of the few NA teams inside of that top 10. And for them to fall to the hands of Epic Whale just around the Tilted Towers is definitely not.
ミルブやってる。
お、でかいでかいでかいでかい。
お、ザゴーやってる。
2V1 やん今の状況。
もう勝ったよ。ザゴーとミルブやってたから勝ったよ。
あれだよ、角じゃない？もう一回。
ああね。
だから 2V1 で多分相手逃げちゃうから。でかいでかいでかい。全然でかい。ジャンパー。
すごいとこにいんな。
危ねえぞ。
うまっ。
うわーうわー
いやー、
でも何今のなんであれが反応できるの？あの振り向き。あ、やっぱ戦っちゃう。サベージ頑張って逃げてくれ、サベージ。
Oh, he's going to be able to get out alive, but do On1 and Baka want to chase him. There's so many other teams in the mix as well, including Brazil's very own King and Ed.
King.
Where they're at in the leaderboard right now, they want to start getting aggressive. They want to take the game into their own hands.
King.
Ed and King here. Trying to do something big. We haven't quite
seen
the numbers on showed yet. You can see right there. King attempts to hit some shots, but does fall slightly short. Options in front of him. Does he
go to WK?
But the reboot is starting to come out for Mr. Savage. Will he get eye drop in time? Just there to maybe play spoiler.
What team?
Fight over towards Cloudy. It's those same two teams while Malibu
is trying to
find an angle so that way they can get the damage they need for Storm and try to get out alive. And I think Ed even found somewhere, but no, they're actually chasing down Mr. Savage, and they're going to clean that one up. That is huge.
And King get their first 2 eliminations onto Mr. Savage and here in game number 6. Huge deal for him right there. And lucky for us, we are hot on the replay. Take a look there out the sky. Ed wastes no time. He says, I missed some shots before, but I got your back. That was huge. Outside of the box play. They could have easily pushed Mr. Savage, got the elimination, and got 2 points. Done. Over with. Easy. They allowed Mr. Savage to get the reboot off, got the elimination on eye drop, got the elimination onto Mr. Savage, and got 4 points instead of 2. That's right. Way to play big there, and they need it.
Big brain play.
Back to Larson and Smite. They could have won this battle, but they've won so many times already. They decide, hey, let's throw it right. Muds and Looter. Ooh, a big 86 on Looter as he tries to follow it up. Smite was waiting with the side angle there. Larson now has just enough time to get back with Smite. They're going to be trading maze here. As you saw, Larson's inventory was definitely
わかんないなそこら辺。
ザゴたち。だってM ホニャラハロスみたいなところはあれやもん。
winning every single one of these fights except for game number 1, you have no reason to leave. It's up to Muzz and Looter to try to change up their plan while you have a hot
1v1 や。
1v1 だ。
体力的にでも余裕や。余裕有利。
うわー逃げるの。
うわー見えてないか。
They will W key. They play aggressive. They play fast. Fortnite and all.
絶対これあれやん。ザゴたち潰しやろこいつら。うまい。
うわペッパーが来た。チルバブルオッケー。チルバブル。チルバブルオッケー。うわー。1v1v1 やねそれ。
See where are this strategy landing over towards Rave Cave. They're trying to go to the slower side of zone. They're trying to go as far north as possible, but they're going to go east first before they make that happen, trying to clean up a quick elimination or what they think could be a quick one at that.
Yeah.
To come in. Storm doing work as well.
なんで飲まなかったんだろう。
Hellfire slides in and down goes Japan's best there. Zagu and Mareem sent back to the lobby, back to the drawing board to rethink for day number 2 of the FNCS Invitational. That's how things can change.
アリスしかいないやんと。
Now they're just trying to find the second half of that duo.
わからん。アリスが今から10何キロしてるかもしれんよ。前回のオセアニア大会みたいな感じで。バカみたいに来るかもしれん。
But Joe and Z Andy, they don't want to let this team out of their sight. They have at least 1 elimination against players from 6 different regions. That's the most of any duo, and that goes to show how adaptable they truly are.
これ大丈夫？
Vortex is a solo. As we touched on, Hen is out the lobby. Focus on his face here. He recognizes, oh, big read there. He finds a make it right in the nick of time. He should get it off with about 2 HP left. That's going to be a huge save for him. Meanwhile, Sensitive and Cold now making their move. Like we said before, they have been somewhat contested. Maybe not going head to head against parts of but possibly trading out some loot. You can see it's kind of coming into effect here as the loadout's very much not quite where you want it to be.
That's Acorn and Edgy sitting on top of the blimp, being that nuisance as Cold and Sensitive. They have to rotate right back in the way they came from. See if we can make it happen. They're actually taking some elevation right now. This could be huge.
They very interesting for them to go up to high ground here. This is such a risk, right? But of course, we never really know. They want some of that loot. Look at that. They get to the vault. They steal some leftover loot. That's going to be a huge situation here. Meanwhile, Muzz and Looter. You get to see a replay here.
Yeah,
up against Smite and Larson, and Muzz turns this around. Third place, Smite and Larson now effectively dropped.
わ、3位が落ちてるわ。
You got to give them credit. 128 points on the day. They've done wonders.
ここからですよ。
Now they get to sit back, relax, collect their thoughts, and plan for day number 2 while everybody else is kind of going through this minefield of chaos, which is game number 6. And like I said, from game number 1, where you have 95 players alive when Storm Surge activated, the lobby is now feeling themselves out. They're feeling a little bit more comfortable to try to attack in these moments. Thomas sitting on top of the blimp, just trying to get the Storm Surge, so that way, when they do find another rotation, eventually, it's going to be their focus, where they don't have to go ahead and hunt the damage. They can go ahead and do exactly.
Let's take a look at Yumi and Cool here on the move. Some of our greats from NA West right now, they have really represented today.
They did.
They have found their moments.
I'm proud.
They've caught their highlights.
Panda's probably proud too.
Oh yeah.
体力的に
Changing their rotation yet again. Don't want to go to Acorn and Edgy anymore. They got the heals that they wanted out of the vault, and now they're trying to find another way around. And for them, they need scraps. They are in shambles right now, and there's another team right in front of them. They spotted them out, and that would have been a great sneak attempt coming out from Scented and Cold, but now they have to think of plan B.
It's crazy. Cole gets caught out by Thomas HD. Thomas HD, Mr. 6,000 damage coming into game 6 here and adding to the chart here. Joe FN's going to be the victim of a few shots there, but not enough for Scented to claw out of this tough situation he is in. Now, mind you, NA's third place Larson and Smite are down. Cold and Sensor were in 5th coming into this, and it's looking very, very grim now.
Yep, the only other NA East team in there is going to be Acorn and Edgy, who came into this game in 8th place, but in the distance, Scented sees Fabs and Snack. He sees Joe and Z Andy trying to get his Storm Surge damage up while being in the storm without any heals, but luckily enough, his escape plan, you can already see it. It is going to be that launch pad.
He's playing a very dangerous game here. He's already been tagged for whites there. There it is. He doubles back now, protects himself as well. There's a med kit.
Oh,
okay.
ridiculous. Arigato.
There it is.
ザゴーさんがトレンドに入ってる。トレ
ンド？
ザゴーさんっていう名前がトレンド。
ルナペポミンも入ってる。
Had to be an eastern edge zone rotate that just did not go their way.
Yeah, and that south side of the zone right now is just going to become so congested. You're going to have to figure out another way to try to rotate around as Chicho's trying to find some damage. Barely gets above the damage threshold. Gets a knock on the Rapid in the distance as well. And you see some other shots coming through. They know that that player is under pressure. Now the lobby is now taking hands to try to take him out all together. Bevies is now joining the fray along with Vortexers as well. Andalix has his back up against the wall. He's trying to survive. And Alex and Bailey are also rotating in. It's going to be such a hard way for him to try to survive.
This is such a tough spot to be in right now.
もう壊してほしいもん。この試合を。
Looks like he falls in the feed there too. It's looking extremely desperate now for Brazil right now in this last game. Here's Booga on the other side of Anas and Pink's wall. They're gonna heal up. Eyes on Mirror and Booga, but no, they want to get out of here. This is a little too dicey for them now. Get them right to the safe zone. Looking pretty decent. It's a great spot to be in right now. They're okay on the surge, but they could use a refresher here. Plenty of options up to be served as well. Hellfire looks like he found Avery. Hellfire was a solo in the zone way north as Commandment and Avery were pointing inwards. And look, Avery fully finished there. The surge possibly finishing the deal.
Yeah, that's not good. You can kind of see why they rotated out of Raven.
でもいいね、このジャンプパッドがたくさんある環境。面白い面白い。見てて面白い。うわやべえ。うわやべえ。
That was tough. Very, very close right there. Usually when that happens, it's all over, but luckily the teams decided not. It's the last game. I can't burn all my resources if I cannot pick up the loot. So
1位どこだっけ今？ここか。
違う。
どこか。
1位はね、さっきなんか美容みたいな感じの名前のところよ。
ベノ？
そうそうそう。ベノかビノか分からんけど。めっちゃいいところ取っちゃうやん、セッティ。おーい。2キルしてるし。
あんた入ったらもう勝つんじゃね？
やめろって。頼むって。ほら、ビノやビノで、その次がAST のエイムが良すぎる人間のところで、3位がセッティ。Vino, Queasy, Thomas HD, Tripburn, and of course Cammy and Seti all fighting for that top 3 currently. It's what you expect. We've seen a lot of our community folk really put those 3 up in the standings and wait for them not to let down the fans, right? もうヘリが早いね。ヘリがちょっと早いわ。
Over towards Cloudy Condos, nobody really going at it off of spawn, but a team that doesn't have much to worry about. You saw them high at the top of the blip, Acorn and Edgy, almost 500 above. They're just picking and choosing their battles, trying to figure out what the right play is going to be. And it does make you wonder, although Malibuca and Mustache are contested, being below the surges means that, hey, that first game was a wake-up call. We can't just go battle. Aqua and crew will just come in third party. Look at this. Fatch finds Malibuca. ほら、キングが打っただけでこの盛り上がりってやばくない？
すごいな。
King from Argentina, Ed from Brazil. Right here, right now, 2 elims already potentially.
おかしいだろ。
Head to head against On1 in Baka.
うわ。
The young duos from NA
うわ。
West. The peak, the punishment. Down goes Baka.
えぐっ。何今の。
Minimap that they're going over. So yeah, you are correct. He is going to get a second chance at life as On1 is placed in the top 10 in every FNCS final he has played in. Trying to put NA West on his back along with Yumi and Cool. So many top competitors in this tournament still, and this is only day number 1. Jonathan Vidal, 120 below, make it 60 now. They do need a little bit more damage. It's going to continue to fluctuate. Vigo finds Baka, down goes On1 as well. Vigo just cleans that up. Meanwhile, Kanata and Macwood, they started off so hot. And now all of a sudden they are in a world of trouble here, surrounded by some of Europe's most dangerous here on this south side of the zone. But hey, they have time to work with here. It shouldn't get too sketchy just yet. If they can keep a low profile for a while, they'll survive to the next moving zone or the half-in, half-out reveal. Here's a look at 3rd, 4th, 5th. 6th and 7th are down. 5th is down.
結構消えてるな。上位で。
From 8th and below, this is their chance to really close the gap in the final game.
That's all of NA East out in Game 6.
That hurts just a little bit. Just a little bit.
いた。
Still got Acorn and Edge still alive. Does a solo. As Video does get knocked in that moment. That's hot on the heels.
うわでも上から持ってんのか。 勝てんじゃねそれ。テイソン。うますぎ。おいこれもうテイの損やんこれ。
テイの損。
これもうテイの損よこれ。
in game 6 to set yourself up for a good day 2, but they still have a long road in front of them. They have to close out this round. The zone is going to pull far northeast. It's on a little piece of a zone, so if you have that mountain top just right there, you're going to be in a sound and strong position for Edgy and Acorn. They'd be some of the last to jump on over, and we said we want to see Epic Whale and Reed. They're just above sitting down, so this might be their game, but first, Vito and Queasy have to show us why they're in the lead.
They don't really have to do anything here. Look at the loot right now. They're on the edge of zone. They have some high ground. All these players flying through the sky. easy shots. You're just like serving it up on a silver platter for a team that has been playing this good, but only 7 damage below the threshold.
And let me tell you something, this is not bad for a team that lands north and then has this half in, half out pull north. It makes a big difference when you are already positioned there and this comes your way. Now they just have to worry about damage management and closing out.
リードが上だ。エピックホイールと。
髪型すごくなったな。
覚醒してるもしかして。
ハイグラ勝負しに来てるやん。
いずれ勝てるわけないだろ、ハイグラ勝負。やめんなて。お前。バッ。
降りた。いいと。
降りた。
And I saw Pink and Anas go down to pars.
テイソンがめちゃくちゃキレしてるけど。
Kanata as well. Refguard as a solo stole hideaway from the TSM duo. That is absolutely insane right now.
ここのチームやばいって。ジョイルで全員やばいって。
Just need to evaluate the situation. No need to burn material this early. Smart play. It's the best play. Vino with a huge tag there. Shield crack there. That's going to go ahead and get him a little excited. But Acorn and Edgy now revealed themselves to his layer as well. He's not too happy about that one. You see him back up.
ハイグラ高いし、なんなら一人やよ。取れるんじゃないとそれ。わわわわわわ。
リスキー。
いや、きちい。ほうほうほう。燃え上がるわ。ジャンピング。
But Queasy and Vino are trying to go up. They're trying to take the game by storm, and they get it, Monster. They got the high ground now. But it's not the free. On their heels, who is it? It's Refguard who tried to fight for it. But he is not going to be successful this time around.
え、ハイグラ1位が取った。
マジか。
やばいな。そしてセッティ神チームは。いやこれやばい。これ上尾さんとマジで勝ち逃げされるって。まだキルが少ないからまだいいけど。テイソン、あーでけえ外したの。
Edgy making their way up the outskirts here. Look at the clean rotate here from Acorn. He is just exceptional. But we get to jump into Duke. 200 HP. Make it less than that. It's not looking good.
まだいける。
He's trying to claw his way into this. They find him. No Elam there. Duke
惜しい。
back and down he goes.
誰一番下。
And once again,
ねやばいって一番上。おかしいって。
That is going to leave them with all the confidence.
ワンツースリーが残っても今。わわわ。エムよ。え。
うわここ強っ。眩しいわ。
リード。Come on, lead, come on. Come on, lead. Go.
うわ
うまい。あとどこは ?1 位、2位、3位の戦いやん。1位、2位、3位やけど。あー、2位が終わった。来た、セッティ。こっから。
Was back-to-back victory royales to end the day, but a team looking to take first place back. Cammy and Seti trying to steal it away.
2回目こいつらチャンピオン。
マジ
1試合目と6試合目で取ったチャンピオン。やべえ。セッティのあの不利な状況からの角度の80やべえだろ。
They're not like a lot of these other teams who are consistently fighting to get to the top of the leaderboard. They play their place out through and through from the drop spot all the way to the end game. They're one of the few teams, time and time again, that has their own spot. They call it the Cammy split, and it works out every single season.
And now they get to take that victory lap to center stage, where they will be greeted by Adam Savage for a quick update. And Adam, please tell me how they do it.
強者感すご。
Right now they're looking mighty fine. Give it up for Cammy and City. GG's boys.
強かったな。
Out of 6 games, FNCS Invitational. That must feel
最初と最後に取るかいね、ビクロイ。
モチベーション的には完璧やん。
完璧やん、本当に。
We saw Queasy went down, Vino was solo. When you saw that happen, was there an opportunity for you guys to get your way in and win that game?
Yeah, but we didn't want to take the high ground because we wanted to get more kills on low ground. That's why we stayed.
でもハイグラでもまあ汚れでも俺らタイム最強だからどっちでもいけたわ。
Has it played out as you both thought coming into this, or have things been very different?
Like we died 2 games to Surge. Like we planned everything differently, but it didn't went as we planned it.
We just adapted. I think we just adapted well, and going into tomorrow, we're gonna be more confident and more prepared. So yeah.
Talking of preparation for tomorrow, what do you do now? Do you go back and review VODs? Do you
kind of work on strategy,
or do you relax?
Like I think relax and VOD review.
Tomorrow, a big day, 6 more games. Could Cammy and Seti go all the way and win FNCS Invitational?
Of course.
Of course they could. Give it up for Cammy and Seti! Your game! 6 winners! Let's go back to Zeke and the gang. Jinquit.
I made this joke. Game 1 of the FNCS Invitational. Cammy and Seti are living their life on repeat right now. They've done this dance before, right? This happened at DreamHack. They win game 1, they win game 6, they stay on top. For Cammy and Seti, all of EU right now.
こいつらマジでうまい。
This is it. We are the best.
Look, EU is on top right now, but
EU やったやっぱり。
they're gonna have a stressful night. It ended on a high note. It started on a high note. But with the history of Cammy and Seti, having 2 back-to-back good days is a curse.
180出すのすごいな。
I'd be really happy to see them continue this momentum forward.
マジかよ。
into day 2.
Yeah, and Seti said it himself, right?
今の角度で180でえぐい
That's what
な。
I like to see from this team. What I've noticed about the way that they play and the way that they sort of carry themselves, they don't get down
あれ
after a bad game. You know, we saw, as they
あ
said,
れ
2 bad
でも
games.
あれだ
Wasn't quite looking too good.
ゲノだ
But look at
1位
that. They come back,
それで
they
も
make the changes that are required to bring them up in the leaderboard, and you can see it's working out.
Yeah, right now they're
あ、セ
holding
ッティ
right.
た
They're
ち
not in that first place
174
spot,
ポイン
and
ト。
of course, as
もう3位と
they
4位
talked
の差が
about,
開いちゃったよ
they
ね。
they were eliminated 2 games to Surge, right? And they
1、2、3が
identified those
強すぎる。
issues. And now we see the correction in game 6, a victory royale, right? So to your point, Okada, tomorrow they come back stronger. We can see them win it all.
Look, the tricky part is they did adapt very quickly
よ
and
し、じゃあ配信終わらせ
in
ますか
that
ね。
last match. They had a difficult mid
オッ
section
ケ
of the
ー。
tournament, but the thing
それ
is
じゃ
now
あ
overnight,
明
those
日は
players that didn't
多
have
分
the
バム
best
さんが
day one
配信
will
すると思うの
also
で。
change. They'll also
おい、
and
聞いてた
the
か
direction
話。
that Cammy had for this last match won't be
できない言うてんねん。
day 2.
はい。
できないって言ってんねん。
まあでも明日の朝はちょっと3試合2試合3試合ぐらい配信します。バムしてんで。
アーカイブ残すの？
残す。残すんだ。じゃあ皆さんお疲れ様でした。